welcome to the Sidebar Cantina, the podcast where we talk about Star Wars, pop culture, our 300th episode, or whatever the fuck we feel like talking about. I am Mr. Jason Roscom, sitting across from me for the 300th time, the Darth Vader to my Palpatine, Dave Martin. Hello, Dave.
Have we always sat across from each other?
Yeah. Pretty much. Except when we watched the holiday special sitting side by side, but that was different.
That's interesting. That's funny you say that. Because we weren't always on camera.
No.
Right? And yeah, I guess we always
because we've always had this table. Pretty much from
true.
the beginning.
Yeah, we trash picked this.
Yes.
For
thank you, Air Force.
That's right. Yeah. Thank you, Air Force, for throwing perfectly good furniture away. And yeah. Wow, that's really funny.
Yeah.
Wow, 300.
Yeah.
It's a lot. That's a lot of, I mean, it's probably more. I mean, when you're
with the bonus content and everything else.
Right. But yeah, it's fucking number 300, man. So cheers to fucking 300.
Cheers.
Get your water bottle out.
Yes.
Bitch. A dry 300.
Yeah.
I thought about getting down the fucking whiskey bottle.
Yeah.
The Jack Daniels, courtesy of Keith Lehman when he was on the show.
Yeah, I briefly flirted with the idea of getting some kind of beer on the way home. I'm like, no, not a good idea.
We just don't imbibe, right? It would be like Dogma. We just like take it, swish it around, spit it out.
Spit it out in a different cup.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like the like the Archangels.
Yep. So, what?
Who's /disconnect? What does that mean?
I have no idea.
So who's writing fucking Python in the middle? Goddamn, our chat.
Dave is already distracted by the chat.
Of course I am, because episode 1 we didn't have chat.
True. Yeah, this is a newer thing for us. Well, newer, I say. We've been doing live on YouTube since the early hundreds, I think.
The early hundreds.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah. So weird to think about 300 episodes. But anyway, besides the 300th episode celebration, it's a celebration.
It's a celebration.
What else are we talking about today?
Well, I think both of us have a pretty full couple weeks to discuss, because we were just on vacation, or at least I was.
Yes.
And you've got a 4-foot tall stack of fucking boxes over here.
Yes.
That begs to be opened.
Yep.
And then we're gonna do some rankings of our, how you will say, hand selected Disney buyout things.
Yeah. So the way we described it was we're ranking the Disney canon, like all the Disney.
Okay, Disney canon.
The Disney cinematic canon,
right?
With one exception, because we haven't seen it. And yeah, we're doing our lists, and kind of shades of our very first episode where we ranked all of the movies.
Right.
Now we're just ranking everything post Disney to include movies, TV shows, animated series.
Yeah, we'll just be sober this time.
Yeah.
Unlike our first episode.
Yeah.
Or our 150th.
Yeah, or 200.
Or 200th.
Yeah.
150th.
Yeah.
This is going to be quite a departure from what a half of fucking a century and a half ago.
Yeah. Where Dave got
fucked up.
The evidence is still out there on our YouTube channel.
Yes, it is out there on YouTube.
Yeah.
Maybe not on audio, but it is on YouTube.
Yep. And that's all that matters.
Yes.
Okay, so should we kind of, do our normal stuff for now?
I think you can go ahead and find the list of people that you need to say.
I have our Patreon.
I saw you clicking. I can see the reflection in your
have
glasses.
it in just a different tab. I just had to click to the different tab.
So you should do your thing over there.
All right, let's talk about some Patreon. If you're enjoying the Sidebar Cantina's content, all 300 episodes worth, consider becoming one of our Patreon supporters. For as little as $1 a month, you can support this podcast and make it possible for us to continue to bring you quality content week after week. We'd like to give a huge shout out to all of our current patrons. She changed the order again. Wally Frogmore, The Orange and Fett Show, Steve Long, Shotgun Mark, Scott and Kim from the Use and Abuse podcast, Nicholas Schaefer, Nick from Swede Studios, my wonderful mother-in-law Patricia Goodstein, Lord Helmet Fire, Kristen Roscom, Janine Vickers, Ivo G, Frederick Martin, Frank Kalevich, Dragon Buddy, Don Sulsky, David Schmuck, Chantal from Pop My Culture, Catherine Rennick, and Carly Vickers. If you'd like to consider becoming a supporter, you can find us at patreon.com/thesidebarcantina. Thank you again to all of our listeners and supporters. You are the reason why we do this. And yes, we haven't properly displayed that because
the gift from the Vickers, Vickers clan for our 300th episode, which we unveiled on our 299th episode.
Yes,
because it was too good to not.
Yes,
but here it is.
Yes, and based off of that and maybe some of the boxes behind me, we are going to have to reorganize a little bit, and we'll find a proper place for that. I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do, honestly. We're running out of, well, we are out of room, but that's,
oh dear sweet Lord,
that's future Dave and Jason problems. So what about you? You got any sidebar headlines, anything of that nature?
Just a reminder, mark your calendars for the Sidebar Family Celebration being held on, don't itch, Dave, don't itch, oh my God. Being held on Saturday, August 19th. There's going to be live streams, Sabacc, Magic the Gathering, a Star Wars escape room, and so much more. There is so much more.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff behind me. I don't want to give it away. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Kristen has gone all out. I know there's stuff at my house that's been built for this event. I know Lunar Girl has stuff going. It's going to be spectacular.
Yep.
Celebration. So, come chill with ATSW fam from the Escape Pod, Pop My Culture, Layman's Terms, Sweet Studios, Stranger Things Has Happened, and our Sidebar family. RSVP with Lunar Girl at the Sidebar Cantina on Instagram or at Sidebar Cantina on Twitter. So let us know if you're interested. And stay tuned for details.
Yeah.
Well, those are the details. I mean, to be honest, like that, it's.
Yeah, we're South Jersey, August. What did you say? 18th,
19th.
19th.
No, it's the 19th. It's August the 19th.
Yeah,
it's happening. Lunar Girl will give you the details for addresses and stuff like that. There will be. It's going to start at noon. Everyone's pretty much staying at the same hotel. I think
that's what I've heard. Yes.
Yeah. So everyone's at the hotel on Cherry Hill. So I think the night before, for anyone who's coming into town, like we can hopefully get together.
I would imagine we'll do something.
Do something, and then obviously there's setting up to do. We're gonna kick it off at noon, probably with all the live streaming and whatnot, and then that'll go to whenever it goes to. And then the next morning, we've got a breakfast thing.
Yes, Amy's Omelet House.
Yes, and I think we should probably try and call ahead.
Oh, make reservations.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Yeah, so we'll find out more details for how many people we're going to have for breakfast the next day. But yeah, it's going to be a whole thing. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be there, who's going to hit me? What?
And Dave is once again distracted by the chat.
Yes, so I'm so afraid to hit Dave. He doesn't deserve it.
Okay. And of course, the reason why we're even having this celebration is because it originally stemmed as an idea for a get-together for our 300th episode, this episode that we're having right now. So it kind of, based on schedules and everything, it had to shift an extra month and change. But it's the 300th in spirit celebration.
Yeah. Well, look, we wouldn't. Most the people that are going to come to this thing are the people that are in the chat right now, and it's creepy, Dave. I don't understand what's happening.
I have no idea.
I really need to not look.
Yeah, you got to stop.
I gotta stop.
Stay on target.
I'm gonna look away like this.
Yeah.
That's not gonna work either. Yeah, it's all the people that we talk with in the chat, and you get the opportunity to see these people in person and do some fun stuff, and and maybe it's something we do more often afterwards. Who knows?
Yeah,
who knows?
Next time, maybe the Escape Pod guys can host.
Maybe,
and we'll travel out there. I don't know.
Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, it should be fun though.
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
It just is. Yeah. So the 19th, and that's all I have for Sidebar headlines.
All right. So again, let's talk a little bit about this 300th episode and kind of how we got here. really, because fuck, I never would have suspected when you and I first sat down to talk about doing this that we'd still be going 300 fucking episodes.
I know, right?
And 6 years in.
Yeah, six fucking years.
Yeah. And I remember too, when we were first starting this, you know, we were working together at the time. And, you know, we told a lot of people, and a lot of the response that we got was, well, what are you going to do when you run out of Star Wars stuff to talk about? You know, that was a big thing when we first started this. They're like, well, what are you going to do once you've talked about everything? It's like, well, you know, they're always making stuff.
Dude, like, I don't think we knew how much content was going to come out later.
Yeah.
Right? All this like Disney stuff that we're getting ready to talk about.
Which ties into the main topic.
Right.
Yeah.
But the Star Wars will provide, right? Even our little foray into the Gen X stuff wasn't because of a lack of content necessarily. It was more of a, hey, we kind of just want to do something different just because of stagnation a little bit and just being bored.
Yeah.
So we still pushed out content.
Yep.
You know, we still were doing our thing, and then just realized that, you know what, Star Wars, we like doing Star Wars better. So we came, the door swung the other way.
Yeah.
So,
and now we found that happy medium where, you know, we can still open it up to non-Star Wars topics at times, but you know, we haven't strayed too far from our bread and butter.
You know, what's a challenge for me is it's the blurring of what we did in the beginning, like, and what anything like pre-episode 100. I think it's tough for me to remember, like, when was that? Because it's so fucking long ago. It's like a lifetime ago.
Because again, we've been doing this for 6 years now.
We've since, think about what has happened in our lives since we started this show, right?
Oh God. Yeah.
We've both retired from the military.
Yep.
Right. We've both started new jobs.
Yep.
I've had 2 new jobs since we started this shit. We've had a pandemic.
Fuck, that's right. Yeah, we went through COVID. We got COVID.
We got COVID because of somebody. Right. I'm not gonna point fingers.
Yeah, we got COVID because Dave came to the studio one week while I had it, and not knowing I had it.
Right.
Gave it to him. And then we were both knocked on our asses.
Yes,
but
it was fucking brutal.
Yeah. Wait, how many presidents have we had since then? We're on our 3rd president now, right? Because Obama was still.
That's right. Obama was still in the office.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's more stuff.
Oh yeah.
But it just the significant life events that have occurred in the sequence of like 6 years.
Yeah. Of
doing this. That we're still fucking doing this thing, and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
it's still so much. It's not work, and I mean, for me, that's the best part of it.
Yeah,
it's effort, right? But it's not work.
No,
I've never saw it as work. And
no,
I think that the day where it became like, oh shit, I gotta go to do the podcast. Like when it turned into work more than just fun sitting around bullshitting, then I think it would become a problem. But shit, it's been 300 episodes and fucking 6 years later.
Yeah, and you know, we've had to take our breaks here and there, you know, because sometimes it did feel like, you know, a lot.
Yeah.
And, you know, we had to take a week or 2 off here and there to kind of recharge our batteries, but we always came back and ready to roll. And
it was much about the podcast as it was whatever was going on in our lives at that point, like with work or anything else. Because fucking normal life is stressful, and it can't help but not bleed into this thing. And I think through it all, the part I appreciate the most is I would hope that you, the listener, it feels the same way. And maybe I hope that it comes across that we want to put out a quality product, right? We're sitting here, we're bullshitting, come up with some fucking goofy shit. I make my hand talk, you know, it's all this silliness that comes out of this. But in reality, like we want to be, we're entertaining each other, but at the same time, like we want to know that we're putting out a quality product.
Right.
And
like these are conversations we'd have anyway amongst ourselves, but now we can just involve you guys. You're the third person in this conversation.
Although I guarantee you, I wouldn't be talking with my hands to Jason just one-on-one because that'd get a little weird. That would be weird. It'd be really weird.
But again, that's one of those things, and we talk about this like every time we have a milestone like this. Just some of the stuff that happens organically in the show that it's just, it's just something that occurs and it becomes a regular thing.
Yeah.
Miss Lopez being the most recent example.
Right.
She's certainly not the first like regular thing that we have for the show, but
no, the sidebar dictionary that I'm sure is just out there somewhere.
Yeah.
The randomness.
Yeah.
That is
just like all the random shit that we spout and just, all of it. It's just all a product of stuff organically coming up, us not forcing it, just kind of doing what we do and
do it live.
Yeah, we do it live, right? Been saying that from the beginning. So some people that I think we should thank.
Okay.
As we reach this very important milestone, I think it's very important that we thank both of our wives, Kristen and Kathy, because without their support and what's the word I'm looking for? Approval of the podcast, then we wouldn't be doing this. We wouldn't have done it this long if either of them or both of them had said, no, this is a fucking enough, I don't want you doing this shit. Then that would have been that.
They've been very
supportive.
Yes. Well, I think Kathy's been more supportive lately than I think because Kristen's more supportive than Kathy's been more supportive. Whereas before, I think Kathy was just a little bit more indifferent.
Oh, okay.
So I think she's more supportive of it now.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So it's definitely gotten better over the years because it's tough. It's not like, all right, they're just, go do this thing. It's a fad. It's tough to call it a fad or something that like, you're going to pick up this hobby and drop it in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We're still waiting on that to happen 6 years later. Like, this will get boring and we'll give it up.
Yeah.
That's something. No, not yet.
No.
So still fucking going.
Yeah. We definitely need to thank Lunar Girl, our social media director, who's been fantastic when it comes to posting regularly on our social media. And
which before her we were just awful.
Yeah, we were terrible. So yeah, she we asked her to do that as kind of a favor, and she was all for it, and she ran with it, and took it farther than I ever expected. So thank you, Kelly, for that. Obviously our bros over at the Escape Pod, they for keeping the family going and
keeping the ATSW moniker alive.
Yep.
As it were.
Mm-hmm.
I just noticed sidebar. Rose in the chat. So Scarif Scuttlebutt. And says the only thing I wish for when I log into this podcast is I guarantee you it has to do with the fucking Square Red 5 logo.
Yeah. See, that's another just like
because my lazy ass just can't.
Well, it wasn't for lack of trying. You tried at one point, and you couldn't find.
I couldn't find the fucking software that I used to make the damn thing for our StreamYard.
Yeah.
I did. I tried. I really did.
Yeah.
Jason saw me struggle with it for fucking. I've spent lots of time doing it.
Yep.
Anyway.
And then, of course, all of our regulars who have been with us from the very beginning. I know I'd forget some people if I tried to name you all. So you know who you are. Right. The guys that have been with us, from like pre-100. And even the newer people who've hopped on over the years, it's all of these regular listeners are the reason why we keep doing this week after week too, Yeah,
the Bronco Fets, the Brady's have been there from the beginning, and like you said, there's a long list, and somebody would be offended if we didn't say their name.
Yeah,
and we'd love to say your name. Just jump into the chat so we can say your name. If I'll see it, I'll say, "Hey, there's this person."
Yeah,
Christian Fandom Geek finished her destiny. What? My God,
Stop reading the chat.
Stop reading the chat. Listen, I am so fucking you get like when you're tired
Mm.
and you just have that little bit of delirium.
Oh yeah,
I'm in that state right now where I'm just like I'm like a toddler who's overdue for a fucking nap.
yeah.
So I'm just fucking
All right, now you have to say Isaac's name because you said that you would say it.
Isaac. There you go. Say my name, bitch. Say my name, bitch.
So anything else on the 300th?
No, look, our celebration is going to be kind of the party element of the 300th episode, the culmination of it, if you were. If it was
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
no words. I'm not doing words today.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I'm looking forward to however many we fucking get to the next milestone.
Yeah.
You know, the 350, the 400s, the whatever the next year, 2 years.
Yeah. If we make it to 500, we'll both be in our 50s at that point.
That's not that far away from me.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's that far away from me. I wake up every morning and 50s feels like it's fucking standing there looming over me going, I'm coming for you, bitch.
Yeah.
It just feels that way.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, just a thought.
I don't need to think about that right now. I really don't.
All right, fair enough. So we'll talk more about this when we have our sidebar celebration.
Celebration, bitches.
So I guess we should get into our weeks, huh?
So yes, Jason, can we address the fucking elephant in the room?
You mean the tower of boxes here in
Yes.
the room? This is again for the people on YouTube. Well, first thing is really quick. I just want to mention that I bought and installed Jedi Survivor.
Fucking finally.
I've been playing it, so
Good.
We should talk about it still on schedule at the end of the month.
Good.
Barring any issues, but I'm working my way through it.
Good.
I'm going on the second to lowest difficulty setting
Okay.
because I felt like the lowest would just be cheating. It's like I got to have some kind of a challenge.
Yeah.
So,
And it still provides, I'm sure, some.
oh yeah, I've died several times.
So and there's still some puzzles you got to figure out.
Yeah.
So that I just finished. I played last night and there was some fucking puzzles that I was just like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like moving bricks and throwing balls and it's a whole fucking thing. You'll get there.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yes,
on the
you do
31st.
need a new Xbox. Get a fucking Xbox Sex. I don't know what's wrong with you.
Yeah. So, I bought a few Black Series figures.
All right, for the audio listener, I'm going to describe this like I'm not exaggerating. There is a 4-foot tower of boxes right here. And it is not just like, a Black Series size box. It is, a USPS priority mail box that would fit like, I don't know, a stack of records, like like that size box. Like we're talking good size boxes here.
So, okay, a couple of things. First of all, I decided on a whim to just Google Black Series clearance sale just to see if I could get a bunch cheap. And oh shit, I didn't realize there was a lot of companies out there that are, really trying to clear out some of their older Black Series figures. I got a lot of these for like super cheap. I got a lot of duplicates, so we're going to be able to open a lot of some of these that you'll see.
Fucking A right.
And I came into a little bit of extra money recently, and I went on eBay and I just bought lots of Black Series figures also.
Nice.
So, all right, let's
some of us go to Hawaii, some of us buy Black Series figures.
yeah, priorities, man, priorities.
I know.
All right, so we're gonna start working our way through this pretty quick. This one I pre-ordered. I actually pre-ordered this on Amazon months ago, and I'm a little upset that it came in the plastic-free packaging. But this is the next Inquisitor Black Series figure. This is the fourth sister from Kenobi. Just let me show the people really quick. This like literally just came out.
Wow.
So
What happened to the box?
I don't know. Fucking Amazon, man. They beat the shit up.
Well, I would be like, yo, Amazon, the box is ruined, and then I would open it.
Yeah. So, but I have all 5 Inquisitors now that have been released so far as Black Series figures. So I'm pretty happy about that.
She's got like stubby Leku.
I don't even know what she is. Is she a Twi'lek?
I don't think so. No, I mean, literally, like the Leiku are.
Let me see.
It's very weird.
Yeah. Fuck, she might be. I don't know. She's like the run of the litter. Either way, fourth sister. This is we're
maybe her Leiku got pinned. Like you pin dog's ears.
Yeah.
Maybe they pinned her Leiku back.
Yeah.
And that's why she's so angry and became fucking an Inquisitor.
Oh, okay, could be.
The Jedi pinned her ears back.
So I was at Walmart buying some stuff for my lunches this week, and of course
I didn't even see the Walmart bag. Where'd you pull that from?
it was on the side.
Jesus Christ.
And you know how the Return of the Jedi stuff has been out, so I saw these. I'm like, fuck it, because I love all these Return of the Jedi vintage.
Yeah,
packaging.
you were talking about it.
So first I got Chewbacca. Now, I want you to look. You can't really tell on the camera, but look at his face. Look at how fucking detailed that goddamn Chewbacca is. That's like one of the best detailed Black Series figures I've ever seen.
It's heavy, too.
Yeah. In addition to
That's
that,
a good one.
Yeah. In addition to that, you shamed me when I mentioned this last time, so I got the Stormtrooper.
I knew you would.
Stormtrooper. even
Stormtrooper.
though I have multiple.
Stormtrooper.
And he's just a standard Stormtrooper, but he's.
But look, now you have this one.
He's in the Return of the Jedi packaging, which I've decided at this point I'm just going to get every figure that's in the Return of the Jedi packaging. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Why not? And I think it's going to be pointless to stack this stuff here because there's not going to be enough room. And of course, I got the giving the middle finger Palpatine. He's not actually doing it right now, but his fingers are shaped where it looks like in this back because he's still on the back there.
Fuck you, stripy bag. Oh my God, it's fucking great. I love it. If you didn't listen to us last week, or you haven't caught the episode yet,
there's Palpatine giving the finger. If you can make it.
There it is, right there. Papa Palpatine flipping you off.
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
All right.
Aw.
Yeah. So we haven't even gotten to the boxes yet. By the way, those were two things that were in bags.
I didn't even see the goddamn Walmart bag over there.
Okay. So let's see which one this is. This one. Oh, this was GameStop. GameStop had a bunch of stuff on clearance. So, where is he? Reactor. All right, so you see that Zabrak I have over there? With the kind of yellow from the gaming grates?
Yes.
Well, I got another one for like $8. So
Sweet.
We're going to open this one.
Woohoo!
Speaking of Zabraks, didn't even know I needed this one, but it's another one from Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, nice. One of the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Yep, and because it was so cheap, I got two. So I can open one.
The Night Brother.
Yep. Also, because it was cheap, and even though I already have it, this was like $7 or something like that. I'm Reva. So I got Reva.
Reva!
And so we're gonna open her up.
Reva! I mean, it is good detail on her face.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like her.
Yeah. No, they did a fucking fantastic job.
Fucking Black Series, man.
Yep. Then I got, because
I'm irrelevant, bitch.
we had just watched Solo, so I got Dryden Voss.
Aha.
With his double knives.
Jesus. Other fucking eerily detailed fucking. Look at how much look good that looks.
Yeah. It's good. Pretty great.
Wow.
And then another one that was on clearance that was so cheap, I'm like, well, fuck it, I might as well get two. And that's the Imperial Senate Guard. So one of these is going to get opened.
I am the Senate. And the Force Unleashed.
Yeah, so these were all GameStop. I went on GameStop's website, found all of their Black Series figures that were on clearance, and bought a lot. And like,
so they're on clearance online.
Yes, yeah, on their website. And like a lot of this stuff I ordered like 2 or 3 weeks ago. They hadn't come in for the last episode, and then we had the 2-week break. So that's another reason why I have such a backlog.
Yeah, you said it was going to.
Yeah, and it got bad. All right, next box.
Fourth sister is a Miri Alana.
Oh, she's okay. Really?
Miri Alana?
But they don't have Leiku. Whatever. All right, so then I went to Entertainment Earth, who also had stuff on clearance. First, we've got Leia from, again, Return of the Jedi, but not the Return of the Jedi packaging, in her Ewok gear.
Right.
On Endor.
Like, why did you have women's clothes? what broad did you eat to get these clothes?
And then, because these were like $6, I got two of Moff Gideon in the credit collection. So I'm gonna open up one of these motherfuckers, and because he's got the Darksaber, so I'll have a loose Darksaber.
Fucking A.
So that was Entertainment Earth clearance sale.
Wow.
Nice, right?
Nice. Yes.
I'm not even bothering stacking these up on the table because they're not all gonna.
Yeah. It's...
But wait, there's more. Okay. All right. So then I went onto eBay, and they had this really cool lot of Bounty Hunter Black Series figures.
All right.
And one in particular that I really wanted, that I didn't have before, and I bid on the thing and I won it for, I don't know, it was like a little over $100. So these ended up being like $20 a piece. I'll start off with a duplicate, IG-11. So we can open up IG-11. Woohoo! Got Forlom.
Oh, jeez. God.
And Zuckuss. And Dengar. But the one that I wanted most of all...
Zuckuss looks like he's got a butthole for a mouth.
Yeah. But the one that I really wanted... Jango Fett.
Oh, nice.
Never had a Jango. It's all right. Up to this point. So now I have a Jango Fett because I have pretty much all the other Mandalorians.
Nice.
And a million versions of Boba Fett. So now I've got Daddy.
Nice. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
Yep. I kind of wish I had another one that I could open.
Maybe you'll come across one
Yeah.
someday.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Jason.
But there's more.
He's got 3 boxes left, people.
Yeah. Well, this one's an easy one. This was another... God, I can't remember what website this was. But it was another fucking clearance. First, we got the archive version of Leia from A New Hope.
The 50th anniversary packaging.
Yep. A gaming great Jedi Fallen Order Flame Trooper, which this is a duplicate. So I'm going to open that one.
Woohoo! Bronco Fett's in the chat. He's probably loving that you're going to open all
and
these.
Speaking of which, there was another one that was on clearance that I decided to buy 2 of, and one's going to get opened, and that is the Armorer in the credit collection style. So, and again, these fucking credit collections, it's like they took it and they kind of like coated them in like a weird spray paint, and they're like, oh, look,
it's different.
Yeah. Spend money, which I did. But these are all on clearance again, so one of these armorers is going to get opened. So, hooray!
Fucking sweet.
Oh, but there's more! I have no room for anything. I think this was another eBay. No! Oh, this was some pre-orders that I made from Entertainment Earth. First, I, for some reason, didn't think I had this one already, but I do, so this is another one that's going to get opened. This is the 13th Battalion Clone Trooper.
Oh, that'll be a good one opened.
And this one, I pre-ordered this months and months ago.
Oh, yeah.
It is the Force Ghost 3-pack, Return of the Jedi, of Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Yoda. Now, of course, it's Hayden Christensen Anakin. But what are you going to do?
This Yoda looks like Mel Brooks. May the Schwartz be with you. That's really cool.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that come up, and no, this was Hasbro Pulse, not Entertainment Earth.
Okay,
that I pre-ordered this one from.
Jesus. Yeah, and it's 3 individual Black Series in the package.
Yeah, which you can buy
the large
them.
Package.
Yeah, you can buy them individually, but I bought the 3-pack.
Yeah, and Christian, you should be smiling because you don't belong in this fucking picture.
Yeah. So, all right, last box. This was an eBay thing also.
Agreed.
And this is more Clone Wars era stuff. So, first we've got a character that I really don't care that much about, Aura Singh, the Hare Krishna looking bounty hunter chick. Now, the cool chick from this one,
She's stacked though.
yeah, is Asajj Ventress.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Yeah. Making Sith sexy again.
Yep. Speaking of sexy Rule 34 people, we've got the Clone Wars Season 7 version of Ahsoka.
That's a really good. That's a good looking fucking figure, man.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at this. Somebody come here. Look at this. Look at this. Cat drinking out the bowl.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell on camera, but
It's so fucking detailed.
But speaking of Ahsoka and Clone Wars Season 7, I also got the Ahsoka 332nd.
332nd. The Mad Dogs.
That's right. Who? Mad? Who?
Dogs. I did that at work the other day.
Yeah.
I said, road dogs out. And they're like, what are you talking about? I was like, all right. So
You'd have had to be there.
yeah. Sidebar. So when you're going in formation, right? You be marching along and you send out road guards to block traffic, right?
Yeah, while the rest of the flight marched by.
Right. So in the 332nd, right, which is here's the Ahsoka version.
That's the first training squadron that Dave and I went to
Right.
in our Air Force careers.
And in the 332nd, they were the Mad Dogs.
Yeah.
I still have the fucking PT gear, by the way.
Do you?
I have my Mad Dog PT gear.
Man, I lost that long ago.
I don't have the shorts. I still have the T-shirt though.
Yeah.
And so instead of saying road guards out, they would say road dogs out.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd fucking so out there. So anytime to this day, that was like 26 years ago or whatever. I still say that road dogs out.
Who? Mad? Who?
Dogs.
Who?
Mad.
Who?
Dogs.
All right. I also have a Camino clone trooper, which are the gray clone troopers, which I never had that guy before.
Oh, damn.
Oof. And because that last season of Clone Wars took place on Mandalore, I've got the Mandalorian Loyalist, which I never had before. Looks very Jango Fett-ish. Fetish.
Oh, that is fucking... Yeah, that's going to fall if I put it down.
Just put it down. Just put it down. There you go. As long as you don't hit the end broadcast button.
Whoops.
And then, last but not least, this is one that I was talking about recently that I really wanted.
Mandalorian Lawyers.
Yep.
That's fucking awesome.
And that's the Mandalorian Super Commando in the Maul spiky helmet gear. And that is my big Black Series haul from the last
fucking
few
hell,
weeks.
dude. So how many is that total?
Oh, you want me to count them?
Yes.
All right, entertain the people and I'll count.
He's going to count whilst I get ready for my week, which honestly, I'm blown away by the fucking the sheer volume of fucking Black Series figures that's
27.
27?
I'm 37?
In a row?
Man, I should have just bought 10 more and made it 37.
Well, I mean, don't tempt fate here.
I know, right?
God only knows what could happen while we're sitting here.
Yeah. Well, yeah. How about you tell us about Hawaii there?
Yeah. So as Jason put it in the notes, probably Dave's going to talk about some Hawaii shit. Yeah, I was in Hawaii last week. If you notice that I seem a little bit twitchy and uncomfortable, I'm fucking exhausted. I forgot how much jet lag is a thing.
Oh yeah.
I haven't traveled like that in forever.
Yeah.
And
despite the fact that we used to be world travelers,
dude,
multiple times over,
we would do this all the fucking time. And like I said, like Jason said earlier, I was like, man, how did we do this? He said, lots of alcohol.
Yeah.
Alcohol and Ambien. I'm like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's
And we were younger too.
facts.
Less broken.
So yeah, I'm jet lagged like a motherfucker. So I'm exhausted. So if I appear just to be a little bit fucking bleh, like that's
More than normal.
more so than normal, and that's definitely part of it. And I also managed to get sun poisoning. Apparently, like SPF 50, after you like go into the ocean a couple times, like the lotion wears off.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm just for a hot second. So that's like the second to last day. We're just having a nice, quiet, relaxing beach day, and I have this like it looks like a deodorant stick of fucking suntan, suntan lotion or whatever. And that's what the doctor had recommended. Like, hey, use minimum SPF 50 for like all the problem spots that I have on my face and shit.
Sure.
And that's what I use. And I use that on my face, my fucking legs, top of my feet, because fuck getting the top of your feet fucking sunburn.
Yeah, it does hurt.
And so, but for my bodice, right? I very rarely have my shirt off because nobody wants to see all this fucking manliness. And so when I have my shirt off, I just put on just the lotion, SPF 50.
He rubs the lotion on.
I rubbed the lotion on my skin only once. And we were out there for a few hours and going in and out of the ocean a couple times, taking on and off my fucking t-shirt.
Yeah.
Because when I got out of the water, I put my t-shirt back on.
Oh, and it probably rubbed the shit off.
I rubbed it off, and I was drying off and everything else. So that by the time, and I'm in the clear blue fucking Hawaii water, so the fucking sun is just being magnified into my goddamn and cooking me.
Yeah.
In my skin, my pasty white ass. So yeah, my fucking shoulders and my back got all fucked, and here on my chest. So that night, it was like, oh man, I got fucking sunburn, and it just looked like sunburn. It was just red. I'm like, I'm an asshole. I put stuff on, not enough, obviously.
Yeah.
So the next day is when we had dinner with the John.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, it was that night we had dinner with the John, and with the John. It sounds weird when you say it like that. Don't say it like that.
It's part of the show. It's
yeah,
the John, our friend, the John.
Right. So I had dinner with him and Emma and his wife. Again, that sounds weird. Dave, just speak English. And it was itching. And sunburn really doesn't, it's not supposed to itch until it starts peeling and shit. And this is brand new sunburn. So I should have known something was up, but I just had a bunch of drinks. So I just drank.
Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it. Drank, went to bed real late, got up early to go do the Jurassic Park thing, which I'm going to talk about in a minute.
Jurassic Park.
So
Deep Blue Sea.
Haven't you seen my movies? That's how I talk. But it was really fucking bothering me. And then the next day after that was when we left, and I had my backpack on, and fucking shoulders were killing me. It was fucking itchy. I was all uncomfortable on the fucking airplane. So by the time we woke up that morning, did all the fucking traveling that day. That was early on Friday, Hawaii time.
Mm-hmm.
And then all the flying and everything else. Which, by the way, fuck United. United, we were supposed to have a direct fucking flight.
Yeah.
Right? Out of Newark. We
talked about that, yeah. Yes.
We spent money to fucking have a direct flight to go out of Newark. I would have never have fucking flown out of Newark if we didn't have this direct flight.
Sure, yeah.
So you know what they did the night before? They changed the fucking flight.
Wow.
It went from an 8:30 in the morning fucking takeoff, direct flight to Honolulu, to a 6:30 a.m. takeoff with a changing planes in fucking LA with a 30-minute fucking layover.
What the fuck?
Yeah. What the fuck is this? Right? So thankfully we fucking booked a hotel room, and we were going to spend the night before anyway. Just because I didn't want to do all that driving and then get on a plane.
Yeah.
So we were already kind of pre-positioning, and United for 4th of July weekend flying is fucked anyway. It just is.
Yeah.
So we weren't going to get any traction, get anything changed anyway. So we fucking, we got on the flight and we made it and it was fine. But it was the same thing on the flight back. They canceled our direct flight and it made it into 2 flights, which fuck you. I will never fly out of Newark unless I have a fucking gun to my head. And it's the worst part of New Jersey, which they're trying to they're really trying to make Central Jersey into a thing now, by the way. Did you see this?
No.
Fucking dipshit this guy with a stupid face, Murphy, he's put in a bill for the state of New Jersey, a board of tourism, to actually recognize Central Jersey as like a thing.
Why?
Because they're all so sensitive. Like, oh, Central Jersey's a thing. Oh,
No, it's not.
no, it's
right.
not. It's not. Right? They want so badly to be a thing. The handful of people they're all fucking New Yorkers anyway. You know what? I just want it to be a separate state.
Yeah, what's in Central Jersey?
Draw the fucking line. Let you have all, like, everybody that speaks with somewhat a New York accent. You go up there, root for the Giants, do whatever the fuck you want to do. Leave us alone. Just leave everything fucking south of there. You know what? Our fucking property taxes will get cheaper.
True.
Our fucking, everything will just be better. Just go up there, be your own fucking state. Leave us the fuck alone. Anyway, Newark sucks. United sucks. Anyway, sunburn, hurts, ouch. Come home, don't sleep on the plane because I'm too uncomfortable. Fucking 12 hours of traveling. And get home, meet up with my Uncle Bob and Aunt Kathy, who, we had scheduled like this brunch, which was dumb to do on the day we returned, knowing full well that we were going to be flying overnight, but we did it anyway. It was nice. It was a nice visit.
Sure.
And then by the time I got home, it was like 4 in the afternoon. So woke up at 0700 Hawaii time and on Friday.
Right.
And now it's 4 in the afternoon on Saturday, Eastern time. So I'm fucking done. I lay down, I fucking fall asleep. I sleep till like 9 at night, get up, take my meds, have something to eat, make it till about 11, boom, pass out again, wake up at 9 in the morning. Now I'm like, fuck, I have to move.
Yeah.
I have to, otherwise.
Force yourself to get up. And
so I go out and I start mowing the lawn. It fucking starts raining. And I'm like running to finish mowing the lawn. And after the rain went away, I was out pulling weeds. And Kathy came out. She's like, hey, just take a look at your sunburn. And I show her. And she said it looked like, it was like a field of whiteheads. So if you can imagine, how a waxed car, and you put water on it and it has all like the little water bubbles on it. That's what my skin looked like.
It was just like bubbling, just blistered.
Just blistered all from like here all the way across my shoulders, like down into here and up on here.
Jesus Christ.
And so she's doing that and I'm looking, I'm like, oh yeah. She's like, you have sun poisoning. I'm like, yeah, I think I have sun poisoning. Which explains why it fucking hurt so bad and why I was itching right away, because it's fucking sun poisoning. God damn it. So yeah. So now I'm dealing with the fucking itching. And it hurts. And I've just been trying to stay busy all day, but just like the immobility of working at a desk, it just is like, oh God. Just want to scratch it so bad. It's fucking miserable. So, yeah. Sun poisoning aside, fucking Hawaii was awesome. Fun fact about Hawaiians that I didn't know: for all of our travels that we went through Hawaii, apparently fireworks are illegal.
Oh,
personal fireworks.
Sure.
So on the 4th of July, there was no, in Waikiki, there was no fireworks.
Wow.
The base had some. And from our room, we were in the Rainbow Tower at the Hilton Hawaiian Village.
Yep.
And I had a view of the whole fucking, basically the whole island from the airport side.
Yeah.
Right. So I could see the base. I could see all the way to fucking Barber's Point. So when I could see the Disney fireworks for a Disney resort that's over there, could see the base fireworks. And apparently, even though the fireworks are illegal, Hawaiians love fucking fireworks. So there was illegal fireworks everywhere.
Nice.
And I'm talking about legit fucking fireworks.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was like sport. They're in the parking, so our thing was overlooking the lagoon. Our balcony was overlooking this man-made lagoon. And the marina was right there, and then the ocean was right here. And there's a big parking lot there. in the parking lot, right in front of our fucking thing, was the best fireworks show I've ever had, because it was right there. It was literally like from here to your fucking bedroom. Yeah. It was like, it started at dusk and it went until like 11 o'clock at night.
Nice.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, this is unbelievable.
And like the local cops don't crack down on it or anything.
So apparently the government tries to stop it, but it's like this black market underground for fucking fireworks with the locals. And it's this amazing thing. And you could tell almost in the parking lot that they were moving. So it's like they weren't stationary in one spot. So like if they were lighting them off here, then they would move to like somewhere else and then light them off like in the same area.
Right.
And they're playing music. It was a surprise, because I thought Waikiki was just going to be like, all right, it's dead. Yeah. And the base fireworks that was a huge show. It went on for a long time. It was a longer show than the Disney show, which was pretty big too. I mean, it's in Disney, the resort is, almost 20 miles away. Like I'm seeing it just at the limit of, before the curvature of the earth starts affecting it.
Yeah.
We were up on the 21st floor, but that was just an amazing surprise from July the 4th.
That's cool.
The fucking, here's the other weird thing, right? As many times as we've been through Hawaii, I'm sitting there at dinner with Kathy, and it's John and his wife Jacqueline and their daughter, and we're at Duke's having dinner.
Yes.
Yeah.
I fucking love Duke's.
Can you imagine? Like, it was the weirdest fucking thing. We're sitting there with our wives at Duke's. Yeah. And it just was so fucking surreal, because you're like, when you've been there so many times, but you've been there with a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
Right.
All the other guys we were flying with.
Yeah. It's always been just a group of guys, and like, all right, we fucking checked into the outrigger, and we go down to Duke's to get something to eat.
Yep.
And then the night proceeds from there. Or go to the Shorebird, or fucking go over to Yard House.
Well, yeah, and it's funny you mentioned, that Yard House. Dude, I got so fucked up at that Yard House once. I drank like 3 or 4 of the Yard beers. And I was trashed.
That is not good.
Holy shit. But yeah, that Yard House.
Is that the slap incident?
No. That was
overseas.
Yeah, that was in the Canary Islands. That's a whole other story. But fuck. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, like, one of these years I'm gonna take Kristen to Hawaii, like probably sooner than later.
Yeah.
And my plan was to stay at the Outrigger and eat at Duke's one night.
Dude, Duke's. Eat a Duke. Dude, make sure you talk to John before you go, because they have this. They're like platinum members of like the Outrigger thing. Dude, they have the whole thing fucking wired over there. It's insane. I don't even want to get into the details of it, but they're like royalty. Like, the only reason we had a reservation at Duke's was because of their whole platinum status with the fucking Outrigger. So it was pretty posh.
Nice.
But yeah, it was so fucking surreal, like sitting in Duke's,
being there, but with Kathy.
Yeah,
as opposed to
just like, and being and John being there.
Yeah,
I think if it was just me and Kathy, it would have been fine. But because John was there,
so now your worlds colliding.
Like, it's like on my Finney. The last time I was in there with John was on my Finney flight. Mm-hmm. We had breakfast at Duke's.
Right.
The morning we departed Hawaii on my Finney flight.
Yeah.
So that was the last time I had been at Duke's, and now suddenly I'm there with John again, but with our wives too. And it was just so fucking weird, man. Yeah, it was fucking crazy. But yeah, definitely take Kristen there, and it's fun to kind of visit our old haunts, but it is a different thing to go there on vacation. Mm-hmm. Like, Hawaii is a different place on vacation. Like, I appreciated it so much more.
Yeah. Like,
we hiked Diamond Head. Like, when the fuck would we ever have had time to do that?
Not really. It was always just to like fucking get there, sleep, and on to the next point.
Get there, drink so you can sleep.
Yeah.
Have a weird fucking cruise show the next day so you can, fly through the night most of the time. Mm-hmm. So our schedule was always off. Yeah, and you never had time to do shit.
Yeah, it was like a 3 p.m. takeoff. Mm-hmm. So you'd have to show at like noon.
Yeah.
And
Which is funny too, because in the outrigger, I'd like ran into a crew that was checking out. It was like 3 PM. I'm like, oh, I've been there. Oh my God. They're just so weird just seeing, I'm looking at them like, oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know what's getting ready to happen right now. That's gonna suck. I think it was a New York Guard crew too.
Okay.
It's like C-17s.
Hmm.
Yes, it was so, but it was fucking weird. But hike Diamond Head, which I hadn't done before, so that was pretty fucking cool. We went to Buzz's. Kathy and I went to Buzz's, the steakhouse on the other side, one of Liam's places.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever been there.
Dude, it's fucking great. It's the Mai Tai place where you're only allowed to have 2.
Because they're so strong.
Because they're so strong, yeah. And the fucking food there is phenomenal. If you're vacationing in Hawaii, I highly recommend getting out of Waikiki. Waikiki's great. There's a lot to do and see there. I don't disparage on it at all, but there's definitely some value in getting to the other side of the island. Like getting to the North Shore, like kind of seeing that area where it's a little less congested. Going, we went through Bellows, it's like the Air Force Station, and so Bellows is kind of where next time I go, I kind of want to stay there because you can get like private. They have cabins that are like right on the water.
Oh, nice.
For military. So it's like they have cabins, they have some hotel style rooms, and they have like little villas. Really fucking cool. 10 out of 10 recommend, because it's right there on the fucking beach.
Yeah.
Even if the cabin is like pretty Spartan, like you open the door and the fucking ocean is right there.
Beautiful.
And there's nobody else there. Like there's no crowd because it's away from Waikiki and it's on an Air Force installation.
Yep.
So there's nobody else can get in there except for who's supposed to be there. So it's just nice and isolated, and it's fucking great. Went over to Lanakai, and that's where their Buzz's is, and I highly recommend. The food is fucking phenomenal. The drinks are great, and get over to the other side and do some exploring. So, and that was my goal. We had a rental car so that I could drive Kathy around.
Yeah.
Which I think the next time we go on vacation, it'll be verboten for me to drive anywhere, because I think she was just at one point she was just tired of being in the car.
Yeah, it's a lot of traffic. And
well, we were on the H1, and it's just it's hard. It's a horrible road.
Yeah,
it is not good. Waimea Falls is over there on the other side. In fact, on the one day where I said we did the Jurassic Park thing,
what the hell?
Yeah, we went to the
Jurassic Park.
We went to the Kailua.
Jurassic Park Legos.
Yeah, it is the Kailua Ranch. I can't pronounce any of these things properly, and I apologize. But yeah, so they have like basically they filmed all these fucking movies and shit over.
Oh yeah.
Over there.
Yeah.
And they have like this is part of their builders club. And I had to get it because it has the YJ on it. Right. So, and unfortunately the box got a little crushed, so I'm going to keep the box, but guess what? This is going to get opened. It's just going to happen. I'm going to have to build these Legos.
Yep.
But yeah, we went there and we did the movie tour, and we went into, saw a bunch of stuff that, they filmed a lot of Lost there.
Yes. Yeah. I remember hearing that's where they filmed on location.
So I have some pictures on my phone I have to show you. What did I do with that? God damn it. Digging around in my bag. Yeah, but they filmed so many movies there, and that fucking that valley. So in Jurassic Park in the first one, when got Sam and the kids, they're like behind that log, and the dinosaurs are like running like in a herd.
Yes.
Over the hill.
Yeah.
And the T-Rex comes and grabs them. So that log where that hill is, the log is still there.
Oh, no
now
shit.
it's it's been fucking over 30 years, right, since the movie. So the log's kind of like deteriorated in the weather, but it's still there. And you can see, like, when you're looking at it, you can visualize it from the movie,
like the dinosaurs running towards you.
You can totally see it. And I'll tell you, I could spend 2 days just in that valley, just staring at, like, it is so fucking majestic. Like the way that the mountains kind of go off, like, in the distance, and then you have the one mountain in the middle of it. And like in Jurassic Lost World, that one mountain is the one they CGI'd into being a volcano.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it was totally fucking worth it. Just to see all that stuff. Drove up, went through one of the bunkers. It's an old World War II bunker that they built after the Japanese went through. Oh, here it is. There it is.
Ah, very
nice.
nice.
When you bought the Lego set, you got to get a challenge coin for the part of the Builders Club, which got that going for me.
Yeah,
which is nice. Yeah, so very, very cool. There's so much of Hawaii that, its history is not that old if you really think about it. And so much of it is, springboarded from World War II, and all this shit got built. And where that ranch is where the Japanese, like, they flew over. Like, there's a strip there that had, like, a Marine base, and they bombed that before they got to Pearl Harbor. Because they came from the north and went over the mountains to bomb Pearl Harbor, and that's where they came in from. So this one fortress that they built into the side of the mountain with this giant fucking gun emplacement, like that, they finished it in 1943, but they built that because they just had gotten fucking bombed.
Yeah.
And just to think about that mentality and the resources it would have taken to fucking do this and pour this much concrete and have this much steel. Meanwhile, they're fucking pulling ships out of the bottom of the Pearl Harbor, and it's mind blowing when you think about it, if you're into the history of it at all. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So it was very cool. I highly recommend it. They have tours you can go through there on ATVs. So you could do like an ATV tour, and it's a little bit different.
Sure.
But yeah, it's so fucking cool. I will show you one picture that we got. So the tour guide, she was pretty funny. And she was pretty clever with her little jokes and everything else. But so the one thing she gets out, her picture, there's like a photo opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And I just talked about the spot where the T-Rex was, right? The T-Rex comes over to log. Well, they have like a setup, right?
Shit.
So I'll hold it up to the camera. I actually have a picture that I worked on Lightroom. I don't know if you can see it on the YouTubes.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'll probably forward it to Kelly so she can post it on the Instagram. But that dinosaur is a plastic dinosaur. And she holds up your camera when she's taking a picture, and she holds up the plastic dinosaur, and she's so practiced at it that, I mean, it's good. It's sitting.
I seriously thought it was just a statue or something.
Yeah, like, because they have this. They filmed one of the Kong movies, and there's like this boneyard where it's got a giant Kong skull right there, which is actually pretty cool too. But yeah, I have all these pictures from the Lost set that we'll have to go through offline, so we're not belaboring it too much. But yeah, I'll send Lunar Girl a picture of the dinosaur bit. But yeah, there's the four of us going before we went on the tour.
Nice.
So yeah, it was a fucking vacation, man. And I didn't look at my phone. I literally didn't open a single email.
Good.
I was completely disconnected, and it was fucking great. It really was. It was fucking awesome.
Oh, good.
Reality crashed in today, but
Yeah.
which happens. Right? You got to come back. You got to work like this to appreciate those times, that time off. But I need to take more time off. Really, it doesn't always have to be a fucking Hawaiian vacation,
but something.
But I think it was great seeing John, and great seeing his place and his setup. Because he's going to be out there for the next 4 years, right? Yeah. So
make sure you go see him one more time.
Easily.
While he's out there.
Easily. Well, we can go space ice, so we really could go whenever we wanted.
That is true.
You think about it.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of what time we can take off from work.
Mm-hmm.
So something to think about.
All right. Is that pretty much it?
Oh, the only other thing I did have a pop.
Oh, shit.
A pop.
Oh!
The sacred Jedi pops.
27 Black Series. I get one pop and I can't even get the fucking drop.
Oh, I never did the
sacred Jedi Black Series.
I don't know. I completely missed the drop. I don't know.
You should do it 27 more times.
Yeah. No.
It unfortunately just didn't fare well in the fucking travel either.
Hawaiian Mickey.
Yeah. So that's going to end up coming out of the box and being on my desk at home. But yeah, it's a little Hawaiian Mickey.
Very
thought
nice.
It was cute. They didn't have a Hawaiian Mini though, which was disappointing.
Eh.
But this is at the ABC store.
Oh, no shit.
ABC store.
Hell yeah.
ABC store, good as ever.
Yep.
Oh my God. I couldn't have.
I need some sunglasses, a t-shirt, and a pop figure. Stat.
Yes. Sunglasses, t-shirt, a pop figure, a fucking some fresh strawberries, a yogurt, and a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Yep.
Got all those things in one place. Fucking ABC stores are just fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And it seems like there's even more of them than there was before. If
Really?
that's possible.
I didn't think it would be possible.
And they seem to be like better. There's a couple of them like back by the reef. Like one of them by the reef is almost like a ABC kind of how you say a specialty ABC store. Like it's a little bit bigger, so it has a little bit more inventory with like like shirts and stuff.
Interesting.
And it's a little bit like the entranceway, because where the Yard House is, there's like some more high end stores and stuff. So, oh yeah, dude, it's ABC stores, man. If you know, you know.
Yeah, pretty much. All right.
But yeah,
is that everything?
Your wife brings up a good point.
Yeah, I know. Here, I'll make up for it.
Hey!
Oh, poor Babu and his neck.
I don't think it may have gotten worse actually.
Yeah.
In a couple of weeks, it is getting hot.
So, all right, are we ready to move on to?
I think we are.
main topic?
I've talked enough Hawaii.
All right. Do you need a break or anything before we?
I'm good right now.
All right, so let's talk some Disney Star Wars because
should we?
Yeah, because quite frankly, I mean, we wouldn't be doing this show if it wasn't for the Disney buyout. Like, let's be honest. Because the state of Star Wars before the Disney buyout happened, what did we have? We had the prequels, right?
Right.
I mean, obviously, we had, the original trilogy, but, we went through that, didn't have anything for the longest time.
Right.
And then we eventually got the prequels, after the special editions.
Right.
And George made it pretty clear, like, after the prequels, he was done. Like, the 6 movies was his story, and that was it. He did do Clone Wars. There was always that talk of him doing that Coruscant Underworld show.
Right.
I think there was even that early test footage that leaked for that. But, the cadence of Star Wars releases in the George Lucas era was pretty slow and was fairly definitive, by the time he had sold out to Disney. So, like, I don't think, while George was alive, if he still owned Star Wars, I highly doubt we ever would have saw any more movies had Disney not bought it out.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, who knows? Like, you get into it's the search for more money, right?
Right.
So is that really what would have happened? Like, could George have had resisted? Like, could somebody had not have approached him and said, "Hey, let's make another"?
Yeah.
Like, because look at Indiana Jones, right?
Mm-hmm.
You saw it.
I saw the new one. Yes.
You messaged me and said there's a lot about it that I would hate.
Yes. I think that my word was despise.
Despise.
Yes.
And Yeah. We'll leave it at that for right now. Which I feel like I still have to see it just because of the soundtrack. Soundtrack good?
It was decent. Kind of a lot of borrowing from the other movies.
All right.
But anyway,
that makes me sad, Jason.
Yeah.
I'm sad, Dave, now.
But we're not talking about Indiana Jones.
I know.
We're talking.
But think Indiana Jones and where they made more movies under that ilk, under that kind of brand. I could see George potentially doing something with Star Wars under that same ilk.
Sure.
At some point later on,
Yeah.
if this doesn't happen. It's kind of that never say never thing.
Yeah, no, that's true. But even if he had changed his mind and decided, yeah, I'll do 7, 8, and 9, it wouldn't have been at the rate Disney.
No, absolutely not.
You know, it would probably be like right now in 2023, we'd be talking about, oh, George Lucas might be making a sequel trilogy,
right,
kind of thing. So, yeah, and it's the buyout gave us so much more Star Wars content because Disney paid, what was it, $12 billion to George for Lucasfilm.
So crazy.
And you know, they had to get theirs. You know, they had to make their money back. So they fast tracked the sequel trilogy. They fast tracked Rogue One, and then you know we got the sequels. We got Rogue One. We got Solo. It didn't end as well as it started financially, obviously for Disney, but you know they manifested that into the TV, the Disney Plus stuff that we got, which you know. Between Mandalorian, fucking Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, Andor, so much more live action content on Disney Plus. Plus, we still have Ahsoka, fucking Skeleton Crew, The Acolyte, the next season of Andor, all to come. So we have gotten so much, just not even animated, just live action fucking Star Wars since Disney took over. And, you know, I don't give a shit what all the haters say. You know, because there's these YouTube channels that we've talked about before out there that they build their brand on hating absolutely everything that Disney does when it comes to Star Wars.
Yep.
And fuck you. Because yes, there have been some things that we don't like, and we're going to talk about those when we do our rankings. But I would still rather have your turds like fucking The Last Jedi, if it means I get to have all the rest of this as well. Like, I think it's a good trade-off. You know, because not everything's going to be perfect. But fuck, we've gotten a lot of good stuff.
Not everything's going to be perfect. I can agree with that sentiment, but at the same time, when you're talking about you know what, I'm going to save that. I'm going to save that for when we talk about
when we do the rankings. Okay, that's fair.
Because there's definitely didn't mean to do that. Yeah, we'll get to that. I don't want to belabor that point, but we.
All right. So, do you want to just like do our rankings and, you know, kind of talk as we go?
Yeah, we might as well because we could get on a tangent about Legends material and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which we still might.
Sure.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I was scrolling through this because I actually had an old note somewhere in my fucking iPad, which I can't find right now, but I found like episode notes for like episode 84, which I thought were amusing. And I took detailed notes back then. Like, I don't know what happened to me. I guess I stopped. I stopped taking detailed notes for some reason because I don't know.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Maybe I needed to because I was drinking more.
Right. So these rankings that we're doing, we picked all of the movies, all of the live action shows, and the animated series. We combined Clone Wars Season 7 and The Bad Batch because it was kind of all one and the same. Like Clone Wars Season 7 led right into The Bad Batch. And so we're counting that as one. And we're not talking Resistance because we haven't seen it.
Right.
So, and that's something that I do eventually want to get to. Like, I feel like it's worth watching at least once. At least I'd like to think it'd be worth watching once.
Sure.
But yeah, we never did when it was out. We were busy doing other stuff, and I know you didn't really.
I think I watched one or two episodes.
Yeah, you
and
weren't
I just wasn't really engaged with it.
Yeah, so I think at some point we should try to re-engage with that. We're also not including Visions because Visions is not canon. And we're not including Tales of the Jedi because those were like shorts and you could just clump those in with Clone Wars Season 7 and The Bad Batch. But yeah, every other piece of Disney, Star Wars, cinematic canon is on this list, and it's down to 11 items from the movies to the live action series and the animated series. So you ready to get into it?
Yeah. So the poll.
Oh,
was
yeah.
done. Do we
Yes.
want to save that, or do we want to wait until
We
after
can-
the rankings?
We can do that. Actually, you know what we can start? We can start with the most hated, because Lunar Girl put up a poll on our Instagram.
Poll.
Yes, a poll, and she asked what was your favorite and least favorite pieces of Disney canon, Star Wars canon, and why don't we talk about the most hated, because that's where we're starting our list.
Hate.
And-
hate.
It goes without saying the number one was The Last Jedi, because, well, I'm sure we'll talk about it when we get
I'm
to our
sure
list.
we will.
Followed by The Book of Boba Fett and Rise of Skywalker, but then with 3 votes, The Force Awakens. Are you kidding me? Who voted for that as the worst? Fuck you. So yeah, that was what the pollsters had as their least. And then when we get to our favorites, we'll read their favorites.
Okay.
You're surprised?
I'm surprised. I'm surprised and I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Because it seems like I feel like The Force Awakens. Like, I know for us, neither of us are going to have this in the lower half of our fucking list.
Yeah. God no.
But just based on previous experience.
Yeah.
And the fact that this is episode 300.
Yeah.
What we're doing.
we know how we feel.
We
about
have a reasonable idea of where our lists are going to be,
Yeah.
more or less. But, you know, it's what I hear from people is the Mary Sue stuff with Rey. I hear the beat for beat with the original Star Wars. I hear that. It's just stuff like that. That's what I hear, and I don't know. It's fine. Like, opinions are like assholes.
Yeah.
Everyone has one.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right, we ready to get started?
yeah.
All right.
How do you want to do this?
Do you want?
Let me get back to my notes.
Well, so first, as far as like grading criteria that I use, whenever it was like close between a couple, the way I sort of broke the tie was, what are the likelihood that I'm going to watch this again and enjoy it as I watch it versus watching the other one and enjoying it as much as rewatching.
I mean, emotion played a part in almost every one of my selections.
Yeah,
Like,
I believe
so it really comes down to, I agree with you. Like, would I watch this again? Or how do I feel like this is for the health of the franchise even?
Yeah.
Like, for some of these,
Okay.
or some of them just, if they suck.
Yeah. All right. Do you want me to get started?
Yeah, you start.
All right, my number 11, my least favorite of all the Disney Star Wars canon, The Book of Boba Fett.
Okay.
Yeah, that it was a show that had so much potential and fell flat at damn near every step. I mean, you had some cool moments, like when Black Kyrgyzstan showed up, Mandalorian season 2.5.
Right.
But besides that, like, God, all the Boba Fett stuff was just so underwhelming, and it's just like, ugh. The show was it felt like just a time waste. And add in the fucking Power Rangers and the stupid fucking guy, the Twi'lek guy who's like a comedian,
Right. Who just talked straight, like he's from fucking Chicago or some shit.
Yeah, and it's just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I wasn't digging it at all. Like, even Danny Trejo riding in on a fucking Rancor didn't do enough for me.
Yeah, you're right. It had so much fucking potential.
Yeah.
For one of the most beloved characters ever in Star Wars.
Yep.
Like, you want to talk about a huge following for a one-off character.
Mm-hmm.
and what the Boba Fett character created. I mean, shit, you don't have fucking the Mandalorian and all that lore, excuse me, without Boba Fett.
That's right.
So
That's right.
And what we went into it with was based on the trailers was going to be this like almost like this Goodfellas,
Yeah,
like this like mob element to it with like taking over like this family, like this mob family. It seemed like it could have like this darker tone to it.
Sure.
And it just didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And it like had this Boba Fett redemption arc that none of us wanted.
Right.
Like I agree with you. I think it was underwhelming to the point where I'll tell you right now that it's not my worst, but it's my second to last.
Okay.
Because if it wasn't for Mandalorian 2.5, it'd be tied for my worst because of expectations.
Sure. Yeah.
But that's really, I mean, it's expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And we know what happens to us with expectations in
Yes,
Star
we
Wars,
do.
right?
Yep.
But yeah, I really like they had such potential for even in the trailers, like give us this kind of mob style movie. Like if Boba Fett comes in there and fucking here's his fucking kick ass second hand.
Yeah.
Here's your number 2 that's going and fucking you just kick the shit out of the huts and do all this shit and fucking take over the town.
Yeah.
Instead, no, you're spending hours in the bacta tank
Yeah.
and having
Flashbacks about being drugged through the desert for hours.
right. It just was really slow and yeah, just not good.
Yep. And fuck, what was I gonna say? Oh, I lost it. Never mind. Oh yeah, it got started off so well too because we had that post-credit scene after Mandalorian season 2 where he rolls into fucking Jabba's palace and point blank just fucking clocks.
Yeah.
Bib Fortuna.
Right.
And just takes the throne. It's like, oh fuck, this is gonna be great.
Yeah. Yeah. Between that and the trailer, it gave you this idea of what it was going to be like this harder type thing. What ultimately we get with Andor.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Can you imagine if we get that Andor like storytelling?
Oh yeah. Well, we'll get to Andor. Don't worry about that.
I'm
But
sure
okay,
we
so
will.
that was my number 11. So what about yours?
My number 11 is Last Jedi.
Okay.
All right. And so we've talked about a lot in this podcast about The Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
If you've been following this podcast at all, and we were so hype for The Last Jedi.
Yes,
going
we
into
were.
This podcast started with us being hyped for The Last Jedi.
You go back and you watch those first YouTube videos we do. We had those Last Jedi posters, those mini posters all over the fucking wall, and
we were all about it and the speculation based on what was going to happen after Force Awakens and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, and I was talking with Rob at work today about this very thing, and I was talking with Mike and John about it over last week while I was on vacation, and talking to my cousin Rick about it. The Last Jedi, I can't reconcile the parts of the movie that change the vector of this canon for the worst.
yeah,
Like everything that happened after The Last Jedi is just not good.
right.
And I'm not talking about like quality of performances or anything like that. I'm not talking about the shows. I'm just talking about like, think about what's happening after The Last Jedi as far as the canon. And it just is just not good.
You mean timeline wise, or just everything we've seen since then?
I'm just saying that like the negativity.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
The negativity of how people look at Star Wars.
Well, it did. It ruined Star Wars for a lot of people.
It was so divisive that you can, if you want to fucking snap a chalk line as to where in Star Wars. I mean, people in Star Wars are always fucking opinionated anyway.
Well, of course, yeah.
And it's a very polarizing thing. You have the light side and the dark side, right? It's like, you're either a fucking stormtrooper or you're a fucking Jedi.
Yeah.
They have commercials about it, But you snap that line at The Last Jedi, and now this is where, whether it's the, a political aspect with the culture or whatever you want to call it.
Well, and that's the thing too. Yeah.
It's all encapsulated into this one thing, and they made a choice.
Yeah.
And it was so wrong and so bad that I just cannot reconcile it in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't reconcile it with the story. I can't reconcile it. It's just that, like, it was such a diversion that I cannot rationalize it like I can with everything else we're going to talk about.
Sure.
I can rationalize even fucking Jar Jar Binks to a point. That I can be like, this is what I can get out of these movies. This is what I can get out of it because of the canon and everything else. I will sit there and I will put Star Wars on a pedestal for almost anything.
Yeah.
But I can't get there with The Last Jedi. I just can't. Yeah. And I haven't talked to a single person yet who's been on board with The Last Jedi who's been able to convince me otherwise. And I consider myself to be fairly open-minded when it comes to Star Wars.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, I fucking shit on a lot of stuff, and it's a lot of it's in jest, but like, for this, I'm willing to hear the argument, but in reality, like, I have to be able to rationalize these things. And this is all based on emotion. Like, this entire list is based on emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm, yes, this is part of our cinematic universe, right? But the things that they did in this movie, the decisions they made in the story, and what is now happened to the canon because of it, you can't go back.
Right.
You can't go back from these decisions that you made.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have to make a movie like Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. That's
going to seem disjointed, because what else are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Now you have that, and then you have a fan base that can spawn YouTube, just a nonstop string of fucking YouTubers that all they do is fucking, put Star Wars on trial for these things and that thing and all the other thing.
And just basically shit on everything from there on out.
And I just, The Last Jedi for me is where that started. Yeah. That's the line. That's the starting line for where that started.
No.
Now, is it really that? I mean, people have always had debate like, oh, Empire's better than Return of Jedi or whatever. Like, yeah, you're comparing like fucking apple pie to fucking apple pie with whipped cream. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, one of them is better than the other.
Right.
Like, depending on how if you like whipped cream.
But then you compare Force Awakens to The Last Jedi, and it's like,
it's not even close.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
Right.
And yes, cinematically, like the production and everything else, like, sure, it's a fucking Star Wars movie.
Yeah, and of course, Detective Kronos in the chat mentions, Rian Johnson wanted to subvert expectations. Yes, we've heard this a million times. The problem is we didn't want that. And I think the fan base was pretty vocal after the fact that, no, we didn't want our expectations subverted. We didn't want, we wanted fucking our Luke Skywalker back. We wanted to see certain things, and instead you just like turn around and just shit in our mouths and be like, well,
you started the movie with exactly what you wanted to do. You turn around and you fucking toss the lightsaber over your shoulder.
Yeah.
And you fucking walk away from it.
Yeah.
You set the tone.
Yeah. Right there.
What you were going to do with the whole fucking story.
Mm-hmm.
That should have told us everything we needed to see. And for the people that were like, oh wow, that was great, then that's what trajectory you're on. And then for the rest of us that went like, oh no, like this is not, it just slowly got to a point in the storytelling where it's like, this is just not where I wanted the story to go. And that's fine, right? It's fine. We're Star Wars fans. We're never going to be satisfied with anything just because that's how we are. But it's really, really difficult for me to accept an argument that the not having Princess Leia die at the hands of her son in that moment.
Yeah, that would have made so much sense to do it right.
You
there.
had he took his father's life, and now he's in a position where he would take his mother's life, and she had passed.
Yeah.
At that point. Like you could have done it.
Yeah.
And you could have done it right. You could have done it right by the fucking character.
Yeah.
And by the person. And you didn't.
Yeah.
Instead, you created something that, yes, can it be rationalized away? Sure, anything can.
Sure.
You can you have gravity in space dropping bombs too. Like apparently,
God, don't even get me started.
So
on that.
Anything can fucking happen.
Yeah.
But in reality, like that was an opportunity, much like in Force Awakens when everyone, including me, goes, why the fuck didn't Chewbacca go right to Leia?
Yeah.
Yes, that is an upsetting thing. This is different. This is, you have Carrie Fisher was dead.
Yeah. And let's not forget Leia Poppins.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to trivialize it that way. I'm like, for me, it's deeper into the abscess that is created in the story by not taking advantage of the opportunity. And it's not even like it would have been like, oh, well, that's too obvious. Like, no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
In that particular moment, it wasn't. It was a part of the story where you're like, holy shit. Like it was happening.
Yeah.
And I was like, it made sense that it was happening. It was still traumatic, but it made sense that it was happening.
Sure. Yeah.
And instead you kill off Akbar, who also had died.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. The guy who did the original voice.
Right. So he's gone, but you did the fucking Leia Poppins thing. So I don't know. It's just Last Jedi for me is the depths. This is the low watermark for Star Wars.
And for me, the only reason I didn't make it my 11 as opposed to my 10, because it's my number 10,
right.
Is because there are a few scenes in The Last Jedi that I actually do enjoy going back and rewatching, and a couple of things like the Force link between Rey and Ben. Yeah, I enjoyed that aspect of it. Some of the interactions between Rey and Luke, I enjoyed. So, it's, as opposed to Book of Boba Fett, I doubt I'll ever go back and watch a single minute of that show ever again.
Mm-hmm.
But I will sometimes go back and watch those few scenes in The Last Jedi.
Yeah, I mean, what The Last Jedi has going for it is it's the movie.
Yeah.
Like, if it comes back into the theater, I'll probably go see it.
Right, yeah. If they ever do like the sequel trilogy marathon or something.
Yeah, I'll go in and see it. Not because I'm a hypocrite, but because it's Star Wars. It's my all-time favorite thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I get to hear John Williams in the fucking big screen. It was remember, the fucking movies were meant to be seen on the big screen.
Oh, yeah.
No matter how good your fucking TV is at home, no matter how good your sound system is, or a blah, 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 blah. They're made for the fucking movies.
Yeah.
They're made for a movie screen.
Which is why we went back and saw Rogue One last year.
Yes. It is made for that.
Yeah.
So when the opportunity arises to fucking see your favorite thing on the screen, even if it's like shit, I could go in there fucking 5 years from now and The Last Jedi is on the screen and it suddenly I have a fucking change of heart. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I won't even have that opportunity if I don't go.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not an abject fucking like I'm not going. I'm gonna light myself on fire. No, I'm not. Like but it's definitely. It is the line. It is a low watermark for me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Detective Kronos also mentioned the Poe and Hux interaction where he's like, please hold for General Hux or whatever that. I'm like, come on. Really? That was so fucking corny.
Yeah. Star Wars has some corny humor in it. That didn't need to. It seemed a little much even for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Even for some of the hookiness. Like they always try and dip into that fucking Han Solo. How are you? Like, that type thing, and I think sometimes they just it goes a little far.
And I will say the best new character that they added in this movie was Rose Tico's sister, who actually sacrificed herself and actually did something real and heroic. And yeah, she's the only good new character in this movie,
and no speaking parts that I can remember. So
yeah, I don't think so.
All right, so both of us talked about our number 11 and our number 10.
Yeah. So I'm Book of Boba Fett, your Last Jedi for the 11, and your Book of Boba Fett for your 10.
Yeah.
And I'm Last Jedi for my 10.
Right. And the only thing I'll add to the Book of Boba Fett conversation is besides the expectations, I I went into it with this like open mind because I'm not like I'm not a Boba Fett like fanboy. I just was like, but I like Mandalorians, right? So I was kind of like, oh man, let's see what happens here. And I would have loved to have seen like a Goodfellas style fucking,
Hell yeah.
you know, something gritty, you know, where the Mandalorian was more like a Western, you know,
and a little more lighthearted, a little more upbeat.
yeah. I was willing to fucking see something a little darker.
Yeah.
Now I had to wait a few years for that to show up.
Yeah.
And I got what I wanted there, but I was hoping for that with the Book of Boba Fett based on the trailers and everything else. And it just never panned out.
Yeah.
It just felt, it just didn't feel right for a character that is so important, you know, to so many people with, you know, and is the foundation piece for so many.
Yeah.
Just didn't feel like it was doing good service.
Yep. Now for me, now that we've crossed 10 and 11, after this are all pieces of canon that I actually do like and enjoy and would consume again in some form or fashion. Now it's just like least favorite to favorite from here for me. So, and we'll jump right into my number 9, which is Solo. We just talked about that not too long ago.
Yep.
You know, it is what it is. It was a lesson for Disney, you know, about recasting, you know, these iconic characters and just thinking that they can make a movie about anything and it's going to make $1 billion at the box office. And
Yeah. I think even when we looked at it again, I mean, shit, that wasn't that long ago that we did it, right? Because
like a month ago or
just
something.
had its 5-year anniversary.
Yeah. So back in May. Yeah.
So, yeah, there was performances that were like really, really good, like the Dryden Voss,
Yeah.
you know, performance was really, really good. And to think that originally that was going to be like an alien character, like a CGI alien type lion, I think there was like some sort of like a lion.
Yeah. No, fuck
thing.
that.
I think what they ended up with was great. And there was a lot of good things in Solo, but I'm with you because Solo's my number 9 also. Solo is, out of all the other things, Solo just doesn't, it entertained me, but it wasn't like the best.
Right.
It wasn't the best ever. Like it's like, okay, this is entertaining. I will watch it again, and I have. But I think there's interesting storylines that are going to end up coming from this, and you had good performances in it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
For sure.
You know, the kid trying to play Harrison Ford playing Han Solo.
Yeah.
That was probably not a good idea.
Yeah, and I think we said that when we did our 5-year look back. Like, he was the worst part of the whole movie was Solo himself.
Yeah.
You know, where everybody else around him had some more redeeming, better qualities.
And I agree with Bronco Fett. The Solo would have done better if it was released at Christmas time.
We were pushing for that, you know. Lucasfilm didn't listen, but as it was getting closer and we realized, oh fuck, they had to refilm this thing at the last minute and still pushing for that May release date. We're
bringing
like
Ron Howard into it.
We're like, just push it to December. Like
Yeah.
all the Star Wars movies had been coming out in December under the Disney umbrella. Like, why not just do that? And you know, we'd keep getting one every December, but nope, they're just like,
Kathleen Kennedy was committed to whatever decision that was.
yep.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so that's it. We talked Solo to death already, so we don't have to rehash that. So let's move right to 8 or 9. So your number 8.
My number 8 is Obi-Wan.
Okay.
So I know, like, talking to Rob at work, his Obi-Wan is like his ultimate, like, Kenobi was his absolute character. Like, that's his absolute favorite. And Obi-Wan, like, just fell so flat for him. That's his floor. I think he was in the chat a little bit ago. There were parts of Obi-Wan that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, me too.
There, where I could cut out a lot of the stuff that I feel like so I look at the Obi-Wan and think this isn't canon. This is like a Kenobi fever dream.
Yeah, like a fan fiction or something.
Right. I do better if I think about it that way, because what I end up doing is I take just the fucking shit with Hayden Christensen as Vader and just the fight sequences and everything else. The fact that they're fucking with the canon and it like they're treading too fucking lightly, or they're taking it too lightly that they're treading into such dangerous territory with the canon.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that it's almost offensive that we wouldn't like that we the Star Wars fandom, not the casuals, would not be paying attention.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure casual viewers don't give a shit, but
Right.
us who've watched the original trilogy a fucking million times,
Yeah.
and the prequels, a quarter of
Yeah.
a million times.
Yeah, the actual sequences of like Vader dragging people through the street and throwing bodies around and shit like that, I'm like, oh my god, that was fucking. I love that shit. I love the actual like battle damage, sequences with Vader. Like, take those and just extract them from the storyline that I just pretend in my head isn't canon. And then it's fine. It should be lower. Like, Solo probably should be above this, but cinematically, like I got full on erect with some of the shit with Vader. I just did.
Oh yeah.
It was just like, oh my god. And they did shit with the lighting that was just fantastic with the
especially during that final fight,
Right.
with the red and the blue lights.
Yes,
and
none of it should have happened. Like, none of this should have happened. They should have
Right.
never made this fucking show.
Right.
They should have no, bad Disney, bad. Don't make this, because they had a perfectly serviceable book, a Kenobi book,
Right.
that told a great story.
but that
It
wasn't
was a
theirs.
single book, and they could have fucking done it, but no. And Rob, read the fucking book. Go right now. Go find where you put it and pick it up and fucking read it as soon as this is done. And yeah, just the fucking. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean,
those things. There was those elements of it that I just really enjoyed, and those are the parts that I'll watch. The rest of it, I just don't think about what the implications are for the canon. I just go shunk, that doesn't exist because reasons.
yeah, I'm not as harsh on it as you. Like, I remember enjoying it, watching it at the time. I hated the fact that they fucking did bring them back together to have another duel, even though allegedly that was supposed, New Hope was supposed to be the first time they saw each other since fucking Obi-Wan cut him up and threw him in the lava.
Right.
But it's whatever, I accepted it, and there were some really good parts. There were some dull parts, and of course the whole stupid redemption arc with Reva and all that. That was just fucking retarded.
I don't even honestly how many survive a fucking lightsaber to the gut at this point?
I know,
It's
pretty much every character except for Qui-Gon, can survive a lightsaber to the gut.
Yeah, and the final scene should really be Qui-Gon going, "What the fuck, man?"
Yeah.
Like, I think there's a how it should have ended. I think they cover that.
Oh, they did? Oh,
I think
that's great.
so. Like, Hizzy's the best for shit like that.
Yeah.
But it was. I think there's Obi-Wan and Book of Boba Fett both did not service that character.
Yeah, but I don't think Obi-Wan was nearly as bad as Boba Fett. In fact, I enjoyed Obi-Wan for the most part.
Yeah.
It's good to watch once. I've rewatched that final fight with him and Vader several times because that was pretty good.
Yeah, like I said, I watched the fight sequences, on YouTube. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like,
Or when Vader's dragging him through the fucking fire, it's like, Jesus Christ.
just like dragging townspeople through the fucking sand.
Yeah.
This is the same reason I play fucking Jedi Survivor, right?
Right.
Like, it's for grabbing stormtroopers and pulling them into my fucking lightsaber, like using them as kebabs, like.
Yeah.
Or fucking, are you at the point in Survivor yet where you can fucking use their guns?
No.
Oh yeah, you can do it.
Oh,
That
great.
comes later. You can fucking bring them in, and you're just holding them like this, and they're like, you're using their guns against. Oh, it's fucking great.
Oh, it's beautiful. Well, so not to belabor it, but my number 8 is also Kenobi. So
Funny how that works.
yeah, and again, we haven't shown each other our lists,
No.
so we have no idea what
Never.
our rankings are. But yeah, it's Kenobi, and again, it was so unnecessary. We said this as we were, leading up to it. Like, why are they doing this? They're doing it just for the sake of doing it. There was no purpose, and you could really not watch Obi-Wan at all, the show, and it would make no fucking difference to anything.
This is taking Indiana Jones out of the Ark, like Raiders of the Lost Ark. It would not affect the movie at all.
Yeah.
The Nazis would still get the Ark, right? Why did this have to happen?
Yeah.
None of it had to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It is a fever dream. Like, you know, he's going to wake up and he's like, he's in the desert, yeah, and getting ready to fight Maul for the last time.
Yeah. So this next one, my number 7, after I might be having a bit of a change of heart, but I'm going to stick with my list.
Right.
But my number 7 I actually have as Rebels.
Okay.
But because I made this list like 2 weeks ago when we first talked about this,
Right.
Since then, Kristen and I have been watching through Rebels, getting ready for Ahsoka. We actually just watched the finale a couple nights ago.
Nice.
And I'm like, wow, this is actually a lot better than I remember. Because I remember when we were trying to trudge through Rebels, there were a lot of like clunker episodes,
Right.
a lot of just goofy episodes with fucking Zeb and Chopper and all that. But, you know, I forget how good it got. So if I had to reorder this right now, I'd actually make Rebels a little bit higher, but I'll stick to my list and go with Rebels at number 7.
Okay.
Just because again, it's certainly not bad. It was very enjoyable, had some great moments in it, but it's also one of those ones that, as of right now, doesn't really affect much of other canon, but that's gonna change when we get to Ahsoka.
Right.
So,
Hopefully.
yeah.
If the story is being told properly, then yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's my number 7. So on to yours.
There has to be a number 7, and my number 7 is Rise of Skywalker.
Okay. Nice.
Rise of Skywalker is higher than other things because it's the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I haven't rewatched it, I mean, it's pretty well documented that I haven't rewatched it that many times.
Yeah.
And a lot of that has to do with the finality of the Skywalker saga,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and the fact that they're now doing like a Rey thing.
Yeah. So they're already making more movies.
So I don't have a problem with that. And we can talk about that at the end, you know, where the canon is going. I think we can talk about that at the end.
Sure.
But there was just something in my heart about that. They Rise of Skywalker was a magic eraser at the end of a fucking, you know, a really, really messy you know, spill.
Yeah.
And there's so many people to blame for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a huge fan of the story, but I still think that it was executed. I think it was executed reasonably well.
Yeah. And you got to remember too, Kathleen Kennedy again fucking fired the guy who wrote the screenplay and was going to direct it. The guy who did the Jurassic World movies was originally supposed to be that. He already like did a treatment. He had already met with Rian Johnson, you know, to make that transition from 8 to 9. And at some point before they started filming, Kathleen Kennedy's like, nope, you're fired. And then we're bringing JJ back. And now you have to write a fucking movie and fucking film it in 6 months. Go.
Yep. And yeah, I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that so many of us are going like, that last movie was fucking hot garbage.
Yeah.
And we are going to show up at your doorstep and light you on fire. Like, I think that's really what it came down to. So it's like, I got a lot of angry Star Wars fans right now.
Yeah. So we got to course correct.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
And there's a lot about Rise of Skywalker that was but there's a lot of I think the casuals are missing a lot of stuff that, for those of us that read the Aftermath books and
also the fucking the Sith, the Shadow of the Sith book,
right,
which kind of really helped put some of the shit in context. From the movie.
You know, us doing a fucking 300 episodes worth of a fucking primarily Star Wars podcast.
Yeah,
you know, we've delved into a lot of extra detail. So Rise of Skywalker had things in it that made more sense, I think, to us.
Sure.
So it didn't seem as fucking out of the norm.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, okay, I get it for the casuals. Like, some stuff just didn't seem quite right.
Mm-hmm.
and it seemed like that needle swung too far the other way to make sense.
Yeah.
So I can see it. I can, and I can, I can relate. I totally understand why Rise of Skywalker would not be on people's favorite list for the movies at all, and putting the sequel trilogy into the garbage bin.
Yeah.
And dragging down the entire sequel trilogy as a whole. But saying that, there were elements of Rise of Skywalker that I enjoyed. I think they incorporated parts of the books we were reading, the video games that we were playing, the comics.
Yep.
Because remember when we started this podcast and we were doing the comics and everything else, there was a lot of extra canon that we were getting into. And they left little nuggets of that all throughout that.
Yeah, they rewarded people like us for consuming all of that.
And I think JJ almost had to, because he was at a loss for probably a lot of the story.
Yeah.
And so to bring it back, he had to like kind of go into like, all right, what's the story group been writing? Like where's the story at and what can I incorporate?
Yeah.
So, and it's a movie. It has the score is very, very good on Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
It just is.
And that's
some
the
of
man, John Williams.
Yeah. And some of the visuals are just phenomenal.
Yeah.
So yeah, Rise of Skywalker will sit there at my number 7. I think that is. I don't have numbers. I just have dashes.
Okay. Well, so that was your 7. So what's your 6?
My 6 is Rebels.
Okay. So again, we flipped our 2 because my 6 is Rise of Skywalker.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, Rebels. Like we went through Rebels. I think it has a great place in the canon right now, especially because of where we're at with Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I think Clone Wars and Rebels both. I think what it did was it started out as this like campy thing for kids, because all right, we're gonna have a kid group watching it, and then we're going to mature the show with the age group of the kids that we're watching. So as the seasons got, as you get more seasons, those kids get older and are following along. Their maturity level is increasing. So now, like when it gets more serious, they're a little bit older and can handle it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think for us, the getting through the campy bit, is part of that maturation process for them. Is, I mean, I'm not watching it with younger kids, right? I'm just watching it straight through. So I have to get through those things to get to like, okay, here's where it starts getting meaty, and I can see through the campy bullshit and actually get to some good storytelling and where I can see good elements to the canon.
Yeah, and especially with Rebels, that's season 2 finale, starting with that.
Yeah.
And then from then on, it just, oh man, it just gets so good.
Yeah.
So nice. And what I was going to say was, after rewatching these parts of Rebels, if I had to redo my list, I'd actually swap my 6 and 7. So I would have had this Rise of Skywalker and Rebels in the same positions as you.
Christ.
So
300 episodes, kids.
Yep. All right. So let's move on to number 5. My number 5 is Clone Wars Season 7 and The Bad Batch. Let me guess. It's you too?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. And again, we're getting into the good stuff now too.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've been covering, this stuff fairly recently with the Bad Batch and all of that. And yeah, it's telling a story that I've been wanting to know about since the prequels.
Yeah.
Basically, like what happened to the fucking clones after, Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. And like Clone Wars Season 7, like we incorporated the two things. I'm not a huge fan of the Bad Batch. We know this.
Yeah.
If you're listening to the show for half a minute, you'll know that I fucking rag on fucking Rambo and his gang of misfits.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, they're telling you a compelling story about what's going on with the clones, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I'll continue to watch it. Like, even though I think it's excessive sometimes with some of the, it's not even campiness. It's just like, ugh, to me. But Rambo notwithstanding, I think there's a story there that even at the end of this latest season, they're making it, they're maturing it like they did with all the other things.
Sure. And of course they announced that next season is the final season of Bad Batch as well. So
yeah, so
Probably gonna put a bow on a lot of these clone stories.
They're all gonna die.
Probably. Very likely.
Yeah.
And then we can't gloss over Clone Wars Season 7 because the end of that, Clone Wars Season 7, was so brilliantly done with the interspersing of the Clone Wars stories, like with Revenge of the Sith going on basically simultaneously.
Right.
Was fucking great the way they did that. It's like, oh.
Yeah, they did a really good job. I mean, as you start getting towards the top of this, with it becomes harder to choose.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Clone Wars Season 7, there was a lot to be like, holy shit. There was a lot of holy shits in it.
Yeah.
There just was, like, man, look at where we're going with fucking this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not about a cartoon at that point. It's more about like, this is where the fucking story's going. And that's where you want to be.
Yeah.
That's exactly where you want to be with a fucking series.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what more can you ask for?
Not much.
Andor. Ask for
Well,
Andor?
all right. So that was 5. So my 5, your 4.
Is Rogue One.
And it's mine too.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious. Yeah, Rogue One.
Which is surprising coming from you, because
Yes.
if you go back to the beginning of the fucking
Yes.
show, episode 1, Dave was not a huge fan of Rogue
Yes.
One back then.
So, and here's why Rogue One is better for me right now. Andor made it better,
Yeah.
right? Andor made it better. Rogue One still has its issues, right? It's still, for me, it doesn't go higher because of the things like the score. There's some story elements that I just don't appreciate. I've rewatched this several times, like recently.
Yeah. Well, we resaw it in the IMAX.
Right. There are. Andor made it better.
Yeah.
Andor dragged Rogue One up the list. Like, honestly, it did.
Yeah.
Like, because I can't watch Rogue One now without thinking about Andor.
Yeah. And allegedly, Andor season 2 is going to tie it right up to the fucking start
Yeah.
of Rogue One.
And it's really funny too, because I'm sure both of us are going to talk about Andor like towards the end, and the two aren't really connected story wise at all.
Not yet. No.
And so the really one shouldn't affect the other, but in reality, like I am watching, when I watch Rogue One now, I'm not being annoyed by the Inigo Montoya.
Yeah.
It's still annoying, but it's not as bad, right? I can watch it for more of the story.
Yeah.
And honestly, like most recently, I watched it on a plane going to Hawaii.
Oh, no shit.
And it was, watching it, because, we had this, you have the whole sequence where they're in the fucking, the tropical area.
Oh, yeah.
What's the name of that planet?
Scarif.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm watching him go, going into Hawaii as they're fucking fighting in Scarif and palm trees and shit. So I thought it would be fun. And I'm like, thinking about it and relating it to the video games, right? Between Battlefront 2 and kind of playing and on those maps, and then playing Jedi Survivor and the Jedha, connection in Jedi Survivor.
Oh, I haven't gotten that far yet.
So you'll get there. There's connections made there that help, again, pop that up on the list. So Rogue One got higher on my list because of exterior things, bringing it up.
Sure.
And quite frankly, I've rewatched it this year. I've watched Rogue One more than I have in the past 5.
Wow.
Just because, like, we saw it in the movies, because we did the show.
Yeah.
And I watched it again. I watched it on a fucking plane. I've sat at my computer and had it on, I just wish the fucking score was better. My God. God, that fucking score is so bad.
Yeah.
So bad.
Anyway, and yeah, for me, I've always enjoyed Rogue One. I've always really, really liked it. I thought that they did a good job. Yes, the score could be better. Yes, there could be a lot less Saw Gerrera, and I'd be happy. But otherwise, I love it. It's one of my favorite Star Wars movies. So, all right, moving on to my number 3, The Mandalorian. Still, huh?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, and I have a note in here. This would probably be number 2 if season 3 of Mandalorian wasn't so
Sure.
because the first 2 these seasons of Mandalorian were fucking just glorious, just great. This last season it was okay. There were some good parts.
Right.
There were some questionable parts. But yeah, I mean,
I think it finished. I think it finished strong.
yeah.
But yeah, there was definitely some. All right, we're making shows.
Yeah.
Like here we are. We're printing money right now.
Yeah.
and
No.
No.
But yeah, I mean, if you look at Mandalorian as a whole, like this breathed all kinds of new life into the Star Wars brand in general. Because you got to remember where we were at this point. We had finished off the sequel trilogy. It kind of went out with a whimper with Rise of Skywalker. We had also had like the shitty showing of Solo, and Star Wars was in kind of a bad state. Like I think Rise of Skywalker made money, whereas Solo lost money. But like Star Wars in general was just kind of like a lot of people were looking at it negatively, and it was really kind of on a downward trajectory. And then Mandalorian came out and fucking changed everything.
Yeah.
Like it made Star Wars relevant again. Fucking Baby Yoda became a mainstream fucking pop culture thing, which, there's something to be said for that and how important that was for the Star Wars brand. And, that was a good way to kick off all of these fucking live action series, a lot of them that, kind of interrelated.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, man, you can't stress enough how important Mandalorian is to Star Wars right now.
Yeah. No, I agree with you 100%. It kicked off like, hey, Disney Plus is going to do a bunch of shit. Like, okay, it's going to start with this Mandalorian show.
Yeah.
If it bombed, the rest of the shit would never be what it was.
Yeah.
If it failed, then do you think we even get to Ahsoka?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Right?
Realistically, we don't.
Like you don't make 3 seasons of The Mandalorian. You don't make the Book of Boba Fett, which is probably for the best.
Yeah.
Maybe you still make Obi-Wan, maybe you don't. It all depends.
Yeah. Like
If
if they
it
lost
bombs.
money, yeah.
But it literally it took Disney Plus and said, okay, this is what we're starting this with,
Yeah.
and that goddamn Baby Yoda just did something to people.
Yeah.
It did something to all of us.
Yeah,
Like it's fucking everywhere. Look at it.
Yeah.
He's everywhere.
And again, to people who, weren't big Star Wars fans or who were just casuals, the fucking Baby Yoda was everything, you know?
My wife.
Yeah.
My wife. Yeah, my wife was like, she never watched this shit. But the fucking Baby Yoda in the first season of Mandalorian, it got her attention.
Yeah.
And she sat there and watched fucking 2 seasons of The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Like she would never watch Star Wars ever.
Mm-hmm.
And she sat there and watched it, and she just enjoyed to see what fucking antics the Baby Yoda was going to do.
Yeah.
Which still called Baby Yoda.
Yeah, of
that's,
course.
Yeah, that's what it is. And Grogu just doesn't come off the tongue quite as easily.
Yeah. So, all right. So yeah, that was both of our number 3s.
Yep.
So I have a feeling I know where the rest of this is going. So why don't you give me your number 2?
My number 2 is Andor.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Wow. So our lists were damn near identical.
Yep. Yeah.
That's great.
I'm not really surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking Andor was so goddamn good.
Yeah.
It was so good. I give Rob, who's in the chat, who hates Kenobi, I gave him a shit because I kind of forced him to fucking watch Andor.
Yeah.
Because he was after the Kenobi thing, he was like, I'm done. I'm not watching anything. I'm like, you gotta watch this show, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And it changed your life. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
It was great. It was that dark. It was just that dark part of Star Wars that we just wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
It was what Book of Boba Fett didn't give us.
Yep.
And it started off a little bit fucking slow, but then it like got into this storytelling, and it was so well written and shot beautifully, and just it did everything right.
Yeah.
And it didn't, like, whoever was playing the character, it didn't matter. It just didn't matter.
Yeah.
And that's fucking great. Like, the individual performances weren't what made this show. It was the writing. It was just the story itself, the settings, like all the shit. Just,
yeah, like all the practical effects.
Yeah.
But it was still Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like in all of this going on, it was still Star Wars. It still felt like Star Wars,
Yeah.
but it was such a different vibe.
It put you in a fucking prison where like life and death are a real thing. Like right in the beginning of this fucking show, he kills somebody in cold blood.
Yeah.
Right? You don't do this in Star Wars. This is not. It was a completely different show right from the beginning, and they stuck with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think even when we talked about it when when the first season was coming out, we were kind of giving our Andor highlights as it was coming out.
Yeah.
Where we talked about, man, if they can keep this going, it'll be fucking amazing, and they did.
Yeah.
And it just was spectacular.
Yeah.
It just was. It's probably the best. It's got to be one of the best things best written Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Thing
100%.
ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. Like it's brilliantly done. And then, of course, now the fear is that season 2 isn't going to be as good. You know,
Right.
that's the thing I'm most afraid of, because season 1 was so fucking good that I'm scared that it's gonna drop a little bit for season 2. But fingers crossed. They know they have a good thing, because everybody sang his praises, and that's the interesting thing. Aside from those few YouTube channels who will trash anything Disney Star Wars, like, I haven't met a single person who saw it and disliked it, or even a reviewer. And I don't agree with many like movie reviewers anymore, but they all fucking loved Andor. It was like across the board. Everybody just appreciated just how fucking insane the show was, and just how great it was.
Yeah, it's very, very rare that you get that.
Yeah.
And you write something fucking good, guess what? That shit happens.
Yep.
It's fucking great.
Yep. So I guess without further ado, our number 1.
Hang on.
Oh. No, I haven't, because we haven't gotten to our number 1 yet. Do we want to do their favorite before we get to ours?
Yeah, let's do their favorite.
All right, fair enough. Let's roll that tape. All right, so getting to the polls and the favorites. So number 1 most loved was Rogue One.
Okay.
Following soon behind that, Andor, then Rebels, and then Clone Wars. Mandalorian was way down the list. One person voted for The Last Jedi as best loved. Gotta be a fucking troll. Yeah, fuck you. So yeah, Rogue One was like the top voted. That seems surprising. I mean, again, not to take anything away from Rogue One, but do you want to do this before we do our number 1?
Yes.
All right. Well, Dave's going to go do number 1 before we talk about our number 1. So we're going to take a very quick break and be right back after this word from our sponsors. I had to put them somewhere. Yeah, so I bought a lot of Black Series figures, and now the big conundrum is, where the fuck am I going to put these Black Series figures? Like, really, we're going to have to bump some of the fucking pops. Like, that's what's going to happen. Dave's going to have to, like, move pops more that way so I can maybe take this top part for the Black Series figures. I don't know. That'd be kind of fucked up. But I don't know what else to do. And I don't want to turn them all sideways, because then you can't see the fucking figures. And it's like, what's the point of having them if you can't display them? So I don't know. We've got problems here. We've got storage space problems. But these new Black Series figures are so cool. Like, where is he? Hold on. Where'd he go? Come on. Whatever. The fucking Mandalorian with the maul spikes. Where the hell did it go? Anyway, yeah, I got a lot of Black Series figures. What's funny is I'm like starting to get caught up on like all the new stuff. So it's like now I'm just mostly oh God, you don't want to know what Dave just did. You all right over there? I was talking about how I'm gonna have to bump some of your pops, make room for the Black Series. Well, we're gonna have to do something, some kind of rearranging again. Oh shit! What'd I do? There we go.
I don't know.
All right.
Testes.
Testes. 1, 2, 3.
Three?
All right. If you're ready, give us a countdown and we'll get back to it.
Move the pops maker. Don't listen to Bronco Fatness. It's just ridiculous.
And we're back. So, number 1.
Get rid of the pops?
I don't know about that.
Get rid of them?
Yeah.
That's a little strong, Kronos.
Yeah. During the break.
It's a little strong.
During the break, we were talking about how we're going to make room for all these new Black Series figures,
Right.
And some of the chats just saying, "Get rid of it, fuck it."
Yeah, this is a now about $5,100 fucking pop collection.
Nice.
Yeah, so eat a dick.
Yeah, no, we're just gonna have to get creative.
Anybody want to buy it? And we can.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Somebody
give me fucking. I'll sell the whole thing for $3,000.
That's $2,000 profit.
Yep. Come and get it.
Yeah, yeah. No shipping though.
Well, I'd fucking spring for shipping.
Yeah.
Just might be, one a week.
Right. Forever.
Yes.
All right. We ready to get back to our lists?
Yeah, or singular list.
Yeah,
because
we've only got one left, and
do I have to look at my notes anymore?
No,
I don't think I do.
By deduction, you can all figure out, and I don't think it's any surprise to anybody who's been listening to this show
Right.
up to this point, that our number 1 is The Force Awakens.
Right, and again, if you've listened to this show for fucking 5 minutes, you should know that The Force Awakens would have been our number 1.
Yeah.
And the people that are surprised in the chat and want to give us shit, eat shit. Because the reality is, and Big Lovin' had actually mentioned it in the chat. This is, for me, it's tied 100% to emotions.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Right.
the same thing.
Like, this is emotionally what this movie was the resurgence of Star Wars in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Same. Yeah.
We had, yes, I was reading books,
Yeah.
right? I was reading Legends material, and that was great for content. And I was a voracious reader of the fucking Star Wars, Legends material at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea of something on the screen, because again, the books were great. The sacred texts were fucking producing.
Surprise you with us.
Whoops.
What the fuck was that?
Don't worry about it.
What?
The sacred Jedi text.
What the fuck was that?
That was something we did a long time ago with Cookie Monster.
See, it's for cunt.
Yeah.
The thing. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, Jesus Christ. No, it was the beginning of the Star Wars cinematically. Like, this is seeing it on a fucking big screen. I went, and what I was looking for, and I mentioned going deep into my notes, I was trying to find, I used to have a list of when the Star Wars prequels were going to be released in 3D.
Yes, I do remember you running that list, and you only got to see.
I only saw they only released the episode 1.
Yeah.
And I took the kids to see it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I was like, "Fuck, this is Star Wars. It's on the screen. We gotta go. We gotta go see it."
Yeah.
Because that's how important it is. And to me, that's how important it is to see Star Wars on the fucking screen, regardless of what it is. You have to. This is how you see Star Wars, because this is the epic of our generation.
Yeah.
Right. I think regardless, I mean, you have you have things like Lord of the Rings, right? Which I'm
Sure.
not huge into the movies, but the book series of Lord of the Rings is one of the, best writings ever, right? You talk about The Hobbit and you get into the whole thing. I mean, you're talking about these stories that are going to be told. Star Wars is one of those stories.
Yeah.
And having it on the screen and then having this soundtrack together with that make it so special.
Yeah.
And it's what makes it special for us. And this was the last cinematic experience that I had where I didn't have a reserved seat.
Oh,
that I stood in line for a fucking movie.
I was right there with you.
Yeah. This was the last time.
Yeah.
I stood in line for that movie just like I did when I went and saw Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
When I was a fucking kid.
Yeah. Or I did that when the prequels came out.
Yeah.
Same thing.
It took me back to that point.
Yeah.
I was there. We had my daughter there.
Yeah.
John was there. My daughter almost lost her fucking ticket. She had to dump her purse out into John's hand. That was fucking great.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we stood in line. We got there fucking balls early.
Oh yeah, like 3 or 4 hours early, something like that.
And we stood in line with everyone. They were in fucking costume. It was fucking, the vibe was incredible.
Yeah.
And it was just like everyone, it was just like in 99, right?
Yeah.
It was like, oh, fucking Star Wars, right? We didn't know what we were getting. We just knew it was fucking Star Wars.
Yeah.
And that alone just made that movie just so much better.
Yeah.
Right? If it had been The Last Jedi in that same sequence, even the story that they decided to tell, I don't know. I don't know where that would fall, honestly, because I think it still would break my heart a little bit.
Yeah.
But it might be a little bit higher because of, or maybe it's still low because it would break my heart so much.
Right. And that's the beauty of it too, because they played it safe with The Force Awakens. They did, repeat a lot of the same themes as episode 4, but you know what? That's fine. Because we needed that. We needed that to recover from the prequels, because a lot of us still had a little bit of pain in our hearts from, some of the bad parts of the prequels. And instead, we got this new movie with the OG cast, and they played it safe. No, they didn't take any crazy chances. They did add some very new, cool, mysterious elements. But, to all those people say, oh, it's just fucking a remake of...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's fine.
Give me the fucking remake. I'm fine with that. You're rebooting the fucking movie for a whole nother generation at this point.
Yeah.
Like, what is bad about having something that worked?
Yeah.
Right? This is Star Wars fucking worked. Star Wars isn't the first movie to ever tell that story in that way.
Right.
By the by. So Star Wars just happened to do it better than anybody else because it was groundbreaking for the time. And in 77, you think about it.
Yeah.
But it certainly wasn't the first to tell that story, and it just was the first to tell it in that way. So to do it again, decades later, to a new audience with the old audience in attendance, just like you would have done in 99.
Yep.
And it just rekindled that spirit, spirit of fucking Star Wars for everybody. It like for us, you talk about Star Wars in the abstract, and not a fucking nerd sitting around reading Star Wars at that point. There was only a handful of us. You had to dig.
Yeah.
You had to dig to find us,
Yeah,
honestly.
pretty
Like
much.
You're probably listening right now, and thank God for you, because you're listening to us right now. But in reality, there wasn't many of us.
Yeah.
And that all changed when you put Star Wars back out there on the map. Then all of that changes.
Yeah, and it hit just at the right time too, with everything they were releasing. The first Battlefront, the Aftermath books, the comics.
Yep.
Just like everything right there at that point in time in 2015. It was fucking perfect.
They wound us up. They're just like here we go. We're gonna fucking get the Star Wars thing going again, and put us in the fucking theater, old school, and then and just get this thing started. And the movie itself
was good.
Yeah.
It was enjoyable from start to finish.
I think the disappointing parts of the movie for me are well documented. Like we've talked about Force Awakens, and we've done our elements. There's the things they did with Chewbacca at the end. God, that shit bothers me. It still bothers me to this day.
I never even noticed it until Dave brought it up, and even then,
I'm not the only person who noticed it. God damn it, others fucking do it.
That's still to me that's a little nitpicky, but
it's not Nick. No, why am I doing that again? I'm doing it again.
Please stop.
God damn it. But yeah, the movie was good. I liked the Rey character. Was she a little above average with her ability and to do everything? Sure.
Yeah. But she had Palpatine's blood, so what are you going to do?
Right. So was Luke in a way.
Yeah.
Maybe not as evident. Like she skipped a couple of grades, whereas Luke's teacher wasn't nearly as good.
Yeah.
Let's face it, Kenobi was he a great
No, he taught Luke for like 10 minutes.
Right. Oh, maybe it was the best 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like he fucking threw the droid up there. He fucking said the Force is what penetrates you. I probably said that inappropriately. I never mind about the penetration. Let's look at the video.
Yeah.
Like I also watched Star Wars again on the fucking flight back.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because reasons. But yeah, are there story elements that are fucking not the best in it? Sure. It's not better than it's not better story-wise than anything in the original trilogy. Mm-hmm. But I can't get over the emotional element of seeing it.
Oh yeah.
And I rewatched it. We rewatched it a million times, man.
Yeah.
We saw it 4 times in the fucking theater.
Yeah, I feel like I saw it 4 or 5 times.
You might have saw it one more time because
I took my family too.
Yeah, I took Kathy and we saw it in that fucking ridiculous RTX theater.
RPX, yeah,
RPX.
The booming sound.
Sitting on top of fucking subwoofers for no goddamn reason.
It was great.
No, it wasn't. It was awful. It was an awful experience. I hated every minute of it. It drowned out the fucking music.
No.
It did. It drowned out the music.
Anyway, so that's our list.
That is our list.
And it's amazing that our lists were so fucking similar too. Yeah, like with just a couple
we went 9
swaps.
We went 10 for 11.
Yeah.
on the fucking same.
So good shit, man. So yeah, and that's how we're celebrating 300, just by talking about this Disney canon, which again, I would like to reiterate that if it wasn't for the Disney buyout, we probably wouldn't be doing this show right now.
No.
We wouldn't be doing the Sidebar Cantina. We wouldn't have started as All Things Star Wars, none of that.
All right.
So we're here because Disney bought fucking Lucasfilm.
Yeah. Do you have all this without the power of fucking Disney?
No, definitely not.
No.
So
no, I don't.
Next week we've changed.
Oh shit.
We've changed up our schedule a little bit. We're talking about National Lampoon's Vacation.
Crazy Gold Medallions.
It just turned 40 years old this year.
Fucking
40 for National Lampoon's Vacation, and I think
it feels like I saw a short clip of it and a meme, and I feel like it should be older. Just the video quality, I guess.
All right. Well, we'll save that for next week. And then in 2 weeks we're seeing Oppenheimer.
Oh God, I can't wait.
Yeah,
dude, I'm legit excited. I saw something like as somebody's getting fucking ready.
Yeah.
God damn it, stupid this fucking thing.
Talking about Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer. I'm crazy excited. No. Yeah, I'm just so hyped. I guess they were talking about how it's got like a bunch of nudity and shit in it.
I just saw that today. Yeah. Apparently, yeah, him and Florence Pugh. Like pew pew. This chick is fucking everywhere. I didn't know who this broad was a year ago, and now all of a sudden she's fucking everywhere. She's in like every other movie that's coming out.
Right.
Like,
is she fucking in every movie? Because I guess with all the nudity,
I don't know, but yeah, like I had no idea who this girl was.
Are you saying fucking literally, or are you just saying fucking for fucking sake? What's the fuck count for today? I think it was fairly low.
Pretty low, yeah. The fucks normally fly when we're like angry.
Right.
But yeah.
Fuckity fuck.
And yes, we do have reviews coming.
Do we get a review reminder?
Yeah.
Here's a gold medallions.
And
it up.
Miss Lopez is gonna have to be a little speedy today. We're about to run over time. Because I had 1 million Black Series figures and Dave had a lot of Hawaii to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. And she's fucking getting a late start getting dressed.
But yeah, one last thing about Oppenheimer. Like all these movies I've been seeing this year, every single one of them beforehand, they played the Oppenheimer trailer. And every time I see that fucking trailer, I'm just like, oh, I just want to see it more and more.
Yeah, the story is so intriguing, and it looks like they did such a good job with the actor.
Yeah.
What's his nuts? Fucking the guy with the face.
The Killian Murphy, whatever the guy's name is.
Is that what his name is?
Yeah. Cillian Murphy. Starts with a C.
Does it?
Yeah.
C.
3PO.
There you
Oh,
go.
hey! Miss Lopez! Hey! How we doing?
I was told that we need to move it along.
Yeah, no time for dilly-dallying today. We're already over time, so... And I'm sure everybody's leaving the chat to go for that other fucking show that's going right now.
What other show?
There's some other fucking show that starts at like 8.
Here, let me see.
And most people abandon us when it comes on.
2 Red 5 live streams have moved to different nights. Now you can catch after the
we're
weekend on
doing this right now.
Saturdays at 2200, 10 p.m. Eastern. And Use and Abuse Pod on Sundays at 2000, 8 p.m. Eastern. See, so no other pod tonight.
Oh, okay.
See, so it's there. You sound like a jackass.
I always do though. So
that's a good point.
yeah.
says the hand. Congratulations to the Red 5 Tavern who turned a year old on Saturday. Oh, good shit. Next thing you know, you'll be 6 years old and talking with your hand. Stranger Things has happened. Who hit 1 year today? Good job, Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Should we sing?
No.
You sure?
Yeah. No time.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
We're just doing the whole thing.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. All right.
Very good.
The Red 5 Network now has... Hold on. The Red 5 Network now has 28 active podcasts.
I'm 37?
Plus 7 archive pods for a grand total of 35 podcasts. It's getting too weird.
I think your math is off.
I'm just reading.
Okay.
28 plus 7 is 35.
Right.
Yes, that's right.
I'm 37?
Plus 2. Check out bio.link/red5. That's bio.link/red5. So browse the lineup. There's something for everyone at Red 5 Network. Going fast. Cantina Family Happenings. Wednesday, ATSW Escape Pod will be discussing the careers of Trey Parker and Matt Stone. Check out Don De La Snooch.
You guys better cover that video they made for Universal Studios.
You know what? They're probably doing it as some sort of like expose for the fucking for me.
Oh, that's possible.
Yeah, since
because technically that's where the concept of you came from.
the concept.
Yeah,
that's a weird way of putting it.
Trust me, this is a weird situation in general.
It's weird, very weird. Oh, tomorrow is Helmet Fire's birthday. We should sing again.
No, we really don't have to.
No?
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you.
Doing this again.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Vickers. Happy birthday to you. I did the whole thing.
Yes, happy birthday.
just a reminder. Wait, no, shit, I started from the beginning. Stand by. Oh, yeah, ATSW Escape Pod's doing Trey Parker and Matt Stone. Yeah, that's going to be good. So, yeah, make sure you don't listen to anything they say about me. Check out Dundell Snooch, Brady Big Lovin' and Dragon Buddy on Wednesday, YouTube at 19:05, 7:05 Eastern. Hashtag Hustlers for Hennifer. Hashtag Dave is fine. No, he's not. Not at all.
Yeah, throw some sun poisoning on top of everything
sun poisoning and exhaustion and the talking hand. On Sunday, Use and Abuse will be hosting Ladies' Night, discussing Disney princesses. I thought they already did this. Did they not already do this? I feel like I'm repeating myself.
I don't know. Whoa.
I don't know where that came from.
Neither do
Oh,
I.
that was deep. Join Scott and Kim and Nicole on their new day. Same time, 2000, 8 p.m. Eastern on the YouTube.
Wait, what day?
I think it was Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Hang on.
Sunday.
Sunday.
And Lunar Girl said it was rescheduled. So, yes, you did say that before.
Ah, very good. See, I know things.
Mm-hmm.
This past Saturday, Stranger Things Has Happened continued their first watch journey with Season 3, Chapter 2, The Mallrats. Is that like the Mallrats?
No, not the Mallrats movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's like a cheap Kevin Smith knockoff?
Maybe.
Well,
I've never seen the show, so I couldn't
so
tell
you're
you.
going to have to check out the replay on YouTube and join Don Della Snooch and Lunar Girl every Saturday at their new time, 2100, 9 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, you see how I did that? I did a little, I think they call it a segue in the business.
That's very good.
Uh-huh.
You're very experienced.
Sweet Studios has a new Bobby? Wow, really? Jeez. Sweet Studios has a new baby.
Oh, yes.
The acoustic. Check out Sweet Studios on the socials and give him a follow on YouTube.
Yep, I saw him post that today.
And make sure you bring a fucking guitar that you plug in with the amps. Because we want the loud music for the celebration. And you will do it.
The sake. Do it.
Yes, we're on point with the board tonight.
Yep.
Layman's Terms released 3 videos over the past couple weeks. MTG Mail Day, bad country music versus good country music. There's good country music?
Yeah.
And part 2 of bad versus good country music. The only country music I listen to is like Jimmy Buffett. That's like
Does that even count?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I mean, it has steel guitar in it. That's like the closest thing.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, speaking of him, one of my coworkers went to Margaritaville in Canada last week.
Yeah.
And apparently they charge everybody an $8 tourism tax, and they're now boycotting Margaritaville.
Ah. Yeah. I'm going to say that Margaritaville is not like my favorite place.
Yeah.
Just because it's a little too commercial.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy the music and the concerts.
Right.
But, you know, the store and the food's not the best. You know, it's a whole thing. Anyway. And it's not country music. Let's see. And he has a new gimmick. Ooh, layman's terms with a new gimmick. So go give him a sub and watch him on YouTube for your primary source of ignorance and drunken banter. The Orange and Fed Show. How do I do that with no lips?
That's good. I'm convinced.
No, Orange and Fed Show released episode 82, Red October, and episode 83, Space Cowboys.
Red October. You like The Hunt for Red October?
Yeah, I think I think Red October is a different movie.
Oh.
I think it actually is about Red October. Red October was a time. It was a thing that happened in Russia.
Oh, I like Red Dawn. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway. That's not what they're talking about, though.
Krasny October. Da.
See.
3PO.
Okay. Carry
Can
on.
I do this voice with a Russian accent? No, I can't. You can't mix the things there. You can't do it.
Is there a clarification? It was Hunt for Red October, book and film. Very good, guys.
All right.
Love the movie and the book. The book is way different, though. If you read the book.
It typically is.
Yeah, and I mean, like, really different.
Wow. Okay.
You can find us at bio.link/the Sidebar Cantina. Oh, hey, reminder. I'm saying this out loud because I'm going to forget. I need to be reminded.
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody's brain doesn't work very well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Looking at you. The next set of stickers we need with a QR code.
Oh. Okay.
I saw it a lot. So we tagged the Sidebar Cantina stickers in Hawaii.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. And there was some other stickers that had like QR codes. And it would take, if we had a QR code for the bio.link/the Sidebar Cantina, and it would have our links to Patreon, YouTube, and our audio podcasts on Apple, Audible, Spotify, and our social media platforms, including Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
So
Twitch, which isn't used much, and TikTok, where Luna Girl posts funny clips of the show and video gaming clips.
So do we already have a QR code? Like if
I think
somebody scanned it, would it take people to our bio.link?
I think you'd have to like generate one.
Okay.
Like go to Bitly and then like maybe generate one.
I don't know what a Bitly is.
Aren't you in IT?
No, I'm in cybersecurity. There's a difference.
Well, you should know what a fucking Bitly is then.
Well, I don't.
It's the shortening. Like you go to and it shortens fucking web addresses.
Oh.
They hide fucking malicious code in it.
Oh.
Are we serious right now? Are we really serious right now? I hope your bosses aren't watching.
All right, can we get a move on, please?
I'm serious. I hope they're not watching. My bosses either. We're just gonna move past that. TikTok, LG, blah blah blah. Yeah, you can also find our Spotify music mixtape playlist because music is life, and you know this because you know it. Our Discord community is growing. Luna Girl post the Discord link now. Wait, hang on. I read that wrong. Stand by. Luna Girl, post the Discord link now! It was all caps. Leave your drama at the door and come hang out with us there. We're not on Threads because Luna Girl was too overwhelmed to pick up another social media platform. I don't even... What the fuck is Threads?
Oh, that's Facebook's attempted answer to Twitter.
It sounds like Facebook's stock's going to drop.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
They should sell.
Sell! Get in there and sell! Mortimer, sell!
Great reference.
It's a good Gen X reference. But if Dave and Jason want her to, she'll do it for them. Discuss! Later.
Yeah.
We'll discuss later. I have to actually find out what it is.
Yeah.
Also on our BioLink is our T-Pulp and merch shop. We have F Cancer, Jason Rose Designs, a Super Sec, Twilix, Bar, checking our beloved Head for Design, that's me. And a couple of, from a Gen X point of view, throwbacks. There are t-shirts. I almost said there are t-shirts, hoodies, tote bags, phone cases, exclusive stickers, and wall art.
And
pins,
you can buy tea bags.
And tea bags. You can tea bag all the live long day. Wall arts, magnets, notebooks, laptop cases, pillows, which you can see in person during celebration.
Yeah.
Just about anything you can imagine. Just make sure you tag us on social with your Sidebar merch. Reviews!
We have one new review.
Yes.
I
Reviews make me horny, baby.
Jeez, why did you say that?
I don't know. It just popped into my head. I just say whatever pops in my head, Jason. That's how this works.
I can't. Why? Why did you? Oh
Jason. Do I make you horny, baby?
No, God, no. All right. This is from Hennifer. It's called I'm the Spy. 5 stars.
Oh, God.
I'd like to sing some from my favorite song. I'm an alligator. I'm a mama papa coming for you. I'm a space invader. I'll be a rockin' rollin' queen for you. By the way, I'm only half Skrull and half Ascavarian. Google it, kids. Welcome to Trans Story Time. Lick the bean. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Thank you.
What a mysterious trip they were on.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Thank you for the 5 stars.
Yeah, I seriously
And-
doubt that was you, though.
I guarantee it wasn't me.
Yeah. But thank you anyway for the 5-star review. We'll just tally it up.
Hells yeah. Me so horny.
Oh, God.
Me love you long time. It was by request in the chat.
Of course.
Boom, 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 boom.
I think I still have that drop somewhere.
Me so horny.
Me so horny.
Yeah. Oh God. It must be getting warm in here because
Yeah.
starting to lose it a little bit.
Yeah. Do you still have more to read?
I got a few more. Luna
Okay.
Girl wants to remind everyone to please DM us when you leave a review so I can show some strike. Wow.
You all right?
Woo! So she can throw some swag your way. She doesn't know a lot of the usernames on Audible, so she needs your help to help her. Like the Hennifer impersonator. She probably doesn't know who that is. Please write us a 5-star review on Apple or Audible. Don't have an Apple or Audible account. Our Facebook page a review feature too, which nobody uses. Just screenshot your review before you hit done and DM or us the pic on Instagram or Twitter. I thought that was the AC.
No. That was the train.
Our Facebook page, blah, 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 Instagram, Twitter. This is your chance to tell us your thoughts on our show. Jennifer Lopez, that's me. Or Hank, or Edith, or Mama, or somebody. We'll read your review word for word on our next episode. Maybe 300 times.
God,
Because it's the
please don't.
300th episode.
Don't do that for the love of God.
Me so horny! just say me so horny like 300 times.
I'm sure somebody would tune into that.
Boom, 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 boom.
Anyway.
I was trying to think of the next lines in the movie. I couldn't.
No. What do you get for $10? Everything you want.
Everything? Everything. If you're listening to us on audio, please consider joining us in the live chat on Mondays. The chat is most definitely where it's at. And if you are new to Sidebar, please subscribe, flick that bean, and select all to receive notifications of when we go live. Remember to hit that like button. It really helps us out. And, yeah, that's it. That's it for the reads.
I might have too many Black Series figures.
Make that as a drop.
All right. So, well, thank you, Miss Lopez. As always, it's a pleasure, and watch out for impersonators. We've got identity theft is a real thing.
It is a real thing, people.
Yeah. So, you're done, right?
Bye. Happy 300th. Bye.
Oh, thank you.
Bye. 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 Bye.
Oh my God.
Me so horny.
Jesus. Make it stop. All right, Dave's back. Oh. Well, I think that's it for 300. Not a bad show.
Almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
You know, not quite some of our longer episodes, but fuck, man, when we were doing them on like early on the weekends and we were drinking, God, we would easily cross that 3-hour threshold and
Yeah.
then some.
Yeah.
It was insane. I don't know how the fuck we did it.
I don't either. Like the days where we were doing fucking doubling up episodes.
Oh yeah,
Pretending like we were doing one.
yeah,
Yeah, it was fucking brutal, man.
yeah.
The amount of it wasn't that we were drinking a lot.
Right.
It's just that we utilized our alcohol well.
Yes. Yeah,
It
because
spawned a lot of nonsense.
indeed, and you know, I used it to kind of loosen up and kind of get into the groove. And,
Right.
Yeah.
I just did it because it was fun.
Yeah.
And the worst part is that things like Hennifer and others spawned out of sobriety.
Right.
That tells you anything.
Yep. All right. Well,
Thank you everyone for the happy 300s. We
Yes.
appreciate it very, very much. We appreciate
Absolutely.
you
yes, we
for
do.
being here.
Yeah, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you.
For you.
All right. Well, I think that is.
Yeah, I
it.
think that is it. Before I start fucking itching myself to death, I'm gonna go outside, find the prickliest fucking tree I can find, to just like balloon bear roll all over it.
Be like a dog. Just.
I want to so bad. I know I can't.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week.
Yes.
For episode 301, starting the next countdown
301
to the next milestone.
301
All right.
reasons.
Wait, isn't there a 301st in Star Wars?
301st
Oh, well.
in Star Wars. Somebody in the chat tell us.
Ooh, we need to make our 332nd episode about our experiences at the 332nd.
Oh, we totally should.
Kelly! Episode 332 has to be about the 332nd
Right.
training squadron.
Mad dogs.
Who?
Mad
Who?
dogs.
Good shit. All right. We'll see you guys later. We love you. Good night.
Good night. Okay, now what do I click?
That was kind of just Dave saying it. That wasn't really
All right,
Lois.
hang on, ready?
Well, it's too late. I already stopped recording.
But for everyone else.
Okay.
Okay, now what do I click?
That's better.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to go fucking.
Come on, dance, monkey. Do it.
God damn it. It's hard to go through these fucking voices. Christ.
Do the funny thing. Just do it now.
Dance, bitch.
All right. We're out of here for reals.
Good night, everyone.
See ya.